there. Where's the show? Oh, my nama. Bushcar, how's it going, man? Username, how's it going? How you guys doing? Sorry about the short stream yesterday. I don't know. I was having a really tough time yesterday. I don't know what it was. I felt so tired, so sleepy. I was like, how's the new bald whiz? It's so bad, Pushcar. I can't even, like, dude, oh my, like, just looking at that, it petrified the crap out of. That's like the worst case scenario. Justin, how's it going, man? You lose your hair and you don't have a good beard? Good God. Nightwalker, how's it going? Yeah, show me your hair, motherfucker. Yeah, I dare ya. Motherfucker. Sassing me. Ramiro, how's it going, man? Nagato, how's it going? Eyebrows next. Fuck you. I'm not a... Are you making me a cancer patient? What is happening? Died Light, how's it going, man? How you doing? You just need a beanie now? We're unlocking your true format, Sequence Zero Baldy. Well, at this point, it's beyond baldness. I'm literally becoming hairless. Jesus Christ, Ramiro, what the fuck? Unless you're starting a fucking GoFundMe for it, for me, fuck you. Jesus. Okay. Did you take the mental age test? No, I did not take that one. I got halfway through the... Wrong, how's it going, man? Hairless baboon. I got halfway through the like alignment test or whatever it's called. I can't remember. I got 31. So, I will start it in your name. You're going too fast. I'm on vacation. I can't wait you all the time right now. I can't watch you all the time. I assume is what you meant. I got... Yes, you did, died. Yes, I got 38. Why am I cooked? What? Oh, for today's wordle, I see. One... Owned? You're nothing? Okay. E-N-O... Wordle was easy today? Fuck off, Pushcard. Jesus, I'm at 5 with no greens. E-N-O, hint, lawn item? Lawn item. Grass? Lawn item. Lawn item. Shovel? Shovel's too long. Gnome? Thank you, Romero. Good God. All right, we got like 10 minutes. Let's just play a quick chess game. Because, as you guys saw yesterday, I am so out of practice on chess. It's bad. I'm so out of practice on chess. It's crazy. I used to be rated like 1200, and yesterday I lost to like a fucking 800 rated player. That was insane. I'm at 690. No. So I'm doing, I did this to prevent this, because otherwise with this, and then him here, that would put on pressure at this pawn. So now it prevents that, that knight from coming there. Last night you killed me. Yeah, it was, last night was, sorry, last time I played was bad, dude. Fun fact, longest chess game ever, lasted 20 hours and ended in a draw. Jesus Christ. Get an ELO goal? Okay. How about we do my all-time high? How about we do a 1300? How about we do 1300 is going to be the elo goal eventually. Well, that's what we'll go for. I should get back into 1,000 like really quickly, like probably within 2 or 3 days tops. I doubt it. I hope it doesn't even take that long because that'd be crazy. That means I've lost like a crazy amount of points. Fuck, that was so stupid. I just lost a pawn. Oh, that was so dumb. Even this isn't a great idea because his queen has an X-ray here, which is not bad because there's nothing to... I mean, I guess unless... Yeah, but yeah. Even this is just bad. Oh, this is just nasty how I'm playing. I'm just banking on the fact that I can fucking beat a 680 rated player at the end game. If I can, I'm actually cooked. You actually look young? Yeah. Okay, thanks for that. Yeah, because I need to look... I'm so old that I like... Is that supposed to be a fucking compliment? Are you kidding me with this? I have a friend with 2,000 elo? You're kidding. Unless he's giving me lessons? No, I don't want to challenge him. What the fuck? Here, 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 I guess. Because I want to open up the side with his king, so I guess I'll do that. He can't push, because then... Do that, do that. If I go here, he goes here, which is an annoying position because it gives him access to those squares. Yeah, but I'll go here. It's fine. Because then I can go here. 8,000. That's such a dumb way to play, bro. Give 500k? No, Zaza. Earn it yourself, bro. How is it my fault that you bet 1,000,000 twice and got fucking destroyed both times? How is that on me? Of course, I can't do that yet. I'm so fucking dumb, dude. It's actually crazy. Like, Jesus Christ, my fucking dumbassness needs to be studied. Now he can go here. And then that would threaten both of those. And I'd have no way to defend it, so I'm just going to go here to prevent that square. Oh, that was so dumb. So fucking dumb. Now he has to go here. But then as soon as he goes here, I go here. No, I can't go there, because then his knight takes, and I'm already down, so I can't exactly be trading. Let's just come back. For you today. Knight c5. I can't go knight c5 and he takes. Fuck you. If I go here, he moves his knight. I don't have anywhere to... Oh, my knight doesn't have anywhere to go. Bitch, no. Sack your horse. I can't sack. I'm already down. In the end game, what do you want me to sack for? Now I can go here. Oh, bitch. that was so bad. That was so bad. 0.2 seconds. If I just did anything else, he would have ran out of time. That was so bad, dude. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to talk about it. That's so bad. I'm actually playing like a fucking... I'm not... Okay, listen. I'm not a 3-minute player, okay? I've always been a 10-minute fucking... I've always played 10 minutes. Sue me. God damn it. Fuck. I don't even want to talk... No, that's no excuse. That was garbage. That's no fucking excuse. That was so bad. I don't even want to talk about it. Just give checks if he's low on time? Yeah, I know. I should have. Did I even have any... yeah, I guess if I just... Oh, I should have just given a fucking check that he wouldn't have expected. Even if he could have taken my fucking rook, it wouldn't have even mattered. Oh. Alright. Dr. Z, how's it going? Oh, I had multiple, yeah. Nine oh five. Just come in with no strategy, it'll confuse you. Have you won a single game on stream? No, I have not. No, it's bad, okay? But trust me, that's just gonna make the first win that much better. Don't even worry about it. I'm not, clearly, because I keep losing. Whatever. Okay, let's go. Psychological blind spot. Based on this, what the fuck was happening last... What the fuck was happening? Okay. So they entered that mausoleum, Colin and the other members of the the 6-member council. The shepherd tried to do some shenaniganery, trying to use her shadow to connect to the black tubes or whatever on the old chief's body. We think they were trying to do that so that the true creator can figure out how to access the land forsaken by gods, because it would connect to the main continent or something, because those tubes were extending out into infinity. And then Klein assumed from that basically that the cause of those black tubes was the Numinous Episcopate's artificial death project, and they think the artificial death project is basically like a uniqueness that's come to life. That's what I remember. I don't know if that's like the best understanding, but that's what I got. Okay, so okay. Based on his experience from watching many detective animations, this motherfucker was watching Detective Conan in the real life. Is that a generator in the background? What the fuck? What? Okay. Based on his experience from watching many detective animations, Klein believed that someone who wore a scarf to conceal his face and hide his physical characteristics with an overcoat was likely problematic. He probably hid an unspeakable secret. Couldn't just be a guy with a cold or something? Especially when it isn't winter yet and the temperatures in the Berserk Sea can't be considered cold. But what if he has a cold? Have you considered this? However, this has nothing to do with me. Even if a locked room murder mystery happens, the one having a headache would be the captain. I should head above the Grey Fog to do a divination and confirm that this trip would go smoothly. Klein didn't mind the matter, but he still thought about it. He retracted his gaze and looked at the desi roasted fish being served to him by the waiter. After having dinner, he returned to his cabin and completed a divination. He obtained a conclusion that there wouldn't be any drastic changes to the environment he was in and everything would happen smoothly. Wait, overworking dementia plus weather is so hot half my... What the are you okay, Dr. Z? What's happening? That's a lot of words you said there. That's a lot of words. Too bad I'm not reading them. This allowed Klein to fall asleep peacefully without relying on cogitation as he slept till daybreak. With a whistle from the steam engine, the liner began moving and departing the harbor. The harbor could still vaguely be seen as Klein saw a figure there. Who did he see? The figure wore a white shirt and blue coat. He had a rather high nose, deeply recessed eyes, and gave a supercilious look. With a sweep of his gaze, he quickly locked onto which liner Klein was on. Who is this guy? What, I'm mean? You're all calling me Unk and I'm the mean one? What? You guys are so mean and I'm the mean one. Yes, of course. Fuck you guys. Okay, overworking. The weather is so hot, but however, it's not like the phrase you said. Oh, I see. Okay, I'm sorry. You're being overworked. I apologize. Yeah. Work's a bitch sometimes. I get it. Goddamn, did you read yesterday's chapters off stream? No, I did not. No. I'm just going off my recollection. I remember all the words, but it was like, I don't know. I was like so foggy because I was so sleepy. I was like, ugh. I was like, you know what? I'll remember it after I take a nap. So I felt good. Yeah, Unk is mean. Taught me gambling. Okay, kid, someone look at... Okay, you know what? Fuck this. You know what? Zaza's actually pissing me off so fucking much. I want someone to see this. Because he's going to keep talking about this, and I have to show someone, because otherwise this motherfucker will keep doing this. Did you do the mental age test? I'm too scared to find out, Dr. Z. Fucking look at this, okay? Look at this. This morning, this motherfucker, he gambles for... He gambles for like he has like 1.7 million, gambles a shit ton, fucking wins by the skin of his teeth, just sheer fucking luck, 2-card blackjack, and then he goes, let's go, more than him, because he looks up my balance and he's like, oh, more than him, I'm winning, okay? And then, so I wake up in the morning, I see this, I'm like, okay, bitch, you want to do this? So, Romero, I did your strategy. I said, fuck it. I withdrew $1 million, did it on a blackjack hand. Won, chillin'. So I go ahead of him, I'm like, shut the fuck up, right? Chillin'. Well, did you accept Zaza's marriage? No, fuck no, Justin, right? And then so he withdraws $1 million, loses. And then like a dumb fuck, he withdraws another $1 million, loses again, is down to nothing, and is like, please lend me money. Like, what am I, why, what do you mean? How is this on me? Who the fuck told you to do this? Twice. I only bet $1 million because like Romero was like, no, you're being a bitch, you should do it. I was like, okay, fine, motherfucker, right? So like I did, and then he bet, and then he bet his last remaining dollar. Oh god, loan it to him with 200% interest per day, bro. He couldn't afford 0 interest per day. He has no money. He has a bright future as Togi, if you guys know who that is. Good fucking god. Good riddance, this fucking guy. With a sweep of his gaze, the man quickly locked onto which liner Klein was on. At this moment, the sky suddenly darkened as though a door leading into the pitch-black land of illusions had formed. A deafening... Please do $1 million coin flip. Okay, you know what? You know what? I have 2.5 million now, and Zaza's far behind, so we can actually do that. Fine. If you, okay, Romero keeps hassling me about it. Fine. I'm gonna lose, but I don't really give a shit. I wasn't supposed to win that $1 million anyway, so I don't really care. 10,000, 100,000, million. Do it on a theory instead? Oh, do it on a theory? Give a divination statement? Okay, okay. This has got to be a lock divination statement, though. I can't be taking some crazy bets here, guys, okay? Let me see what my theory... does anyone have, like, a good theory I put out a while, in the last little bit or something? Does anyone know? I'm gonna quickly open my notes, go to theories really quickly. Yeah, okay. ATT? I'm on toilet theory. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, wait, Evernight being a transmigrator. That's actually a really good one too. Because the amount of money is too high, you can divine something crazy and beat the interference. Or I get cooked with the... What is the Aman toilet theory? Ooh. No, let's do it on Evernight being a transmigrator. I like that one better. 10,000, 100,000, million. My conviction on ATT is not that high. It's been a while. I'm on 905, Blaze. I'm on 905. Fuck, wait. Everyone's saying I'm on toilet theory. Do I do I'm on toilet theory? Fuck, everyone's saying ATT. Blaze, you're weird. Oh, God, you're actually triggering the fuck out of me. Jesus. Okay, ATT? Okay. Wait, let me just explain to everyone who doesn't know what ATT is, and then I'll divine. Okay, fine. So my Aman toilet theory was... so the reason it's called the Aman toilet theory was because I had it when I was on the toilet. That's the only reason it's called the Aman toilet theory, and it is about Aman, obviously. Okay. So my theory was that Aman is the progenitor of a family. He's like the starting of a family. He then had 2 kids, or however many kids, okay? And those kids had 2 kids. And then those kids had kids, and those kids had kids, and whatever. You guys know how a fucking family tree works. Like, I'm not... What the fuck was that? Jesus Christ, what was that? That kid had some difficulties. Okay? And then eventually, Aman realized that as a result of having all these kids, his power was weakening. Because Pushkar, shut up. And then his power was weakening because there were more and more lower level sequencers of the Marauder pathway. There were like a lot of sequence 9s, a lot of sequence 8s, okay? And as a result of which, his power was getting weaker because of the law of characteristics conservation. You know how, like, if there's a lot of low level sequencers, there can't be a lot of high sequence ones. So I figured even though Amon's already a sequence 1, his power was weakening because there's more and more characteristics. No, so he didn't kill them. No. Instead, he accepted all of their fates as his own. He just became Aman in every scenario. He took over everyone's fates. The result of which is why there's no knowledge on the Aman family. Where, like, everyone always says, like, oh yeah, like, there's an Aman family, but, like, all its knowledge is, like, hidden or obscured because, like, no one knows anything about it. Every Aman is like the evil Aman, the king of angel Aman. So that's why there's no information leak, because Aman's not leaking any information, and he gets stronger. So that was the theory. So Zaza, fuck you, dude. The Aman toilet theory is, or a variation of it, is true. Let's go, baby! Oh, Zaza. You thought you were gonna have better luck than me. Get fucked, a loser. Oh, God. 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go. How do I give money? How do I do that? I don't even know. I was gonna give Zaza $2,000, the $2,417 I have. Let's go. Oh God, that was terrifying. Oh my God, gambling is the best. Oh, what's this casino? Yeah, Blaze, are you in the Discord? I was gonna say he needs to know that if he wins money using Aman, Aman will come back and steal his money later. Double or nothing. Fuck you. No shot. No shot. Oh my God. Now do the Evernight theory. Okay. Now do we do 1 million on the Evernight theory? I'm actually kind of flush right now with money, so even if I lost 1 million, I don't really give a fuck about it. Again, I'm not supposed to have any of this as far as I'm concerned. We can do 1 million on the Evernight theory. What do you guys think? Yes, yes. No, I'm not doing 2 million. No, fuck off. I'm not doing all in. No, piss off, guys. 3 million on Evernight. Fuck you guys. No, we can do 1 million or nothing. Those are your options. $2 million to get through the fuck no, that's what the million was for. That's what the million was for. If 1 million can't get through, how will it be? How will it be 2 million? How will 2 million get through? What the fuck? Okay. Bro, if this works, I mean, if it doesn't work, I don't really give a shit. Let me be clear. I'd be at 2, and I'd be like at 2 million. That's fine. 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, million. Hundred, thousand, 10,000, 100,000, million. The Evernight goddess is a transmigrator. No! No! Oh my god! You can do all you want, baby. Zaz is crying. Oh, you know what, Ramiro? I apologize for making fun of you. This is the best idea you've ever had. Let's go. How do I start? Blaze, are you in the Discord? You just need to go into the divination club. It's not difficult, man. Oh god. Oh, that is so funny. Oh my god, that is so funny. Oh, that is hilarious. No, round 3. Fuck off. Okay, I gotta start reading now. That is insane. Okay, let's go. Oh, shit. Okay, so I will have some balance already. No, there's a couple things you can do to get money off Rip Blaze. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Okay, I'll show Blaze really quickly. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Okay. So you go to use app, you go to the 24/7 casino. There's like a couple things you can do. It's like you can do crime. Love that. You can get your daily paycheck. You can get your hourly paycheck, which you can obviously get hourly. And there's a couple more things, and then you can gamble however you want. Coin flips. Yeah, exactly. Use cooldown, and then you can do any of these 5 things to try to get money. Or 6, I guess, or 7, I guess. And that's it. And then you can do that. Fuck. No, I want to read. People keep asking. Okay, no, seriously, no more distractions anymore. Okay, we're good. Okay. Yeah, I am, bro, Togi is working one end, I'm working the other end, okay? We're doing, no, okay, no, we actually need to read. Stop. It's been 15 minutes. I should have finished a whole chapter by now. I've read 2 lines. This is insane. Okay. A deafening typhoon stirred up in the seabed, surging upwards and with massive amounts of blue mass. Dark lightning flashed like rifts in the void. They kept appearing and kept healing themselves until they disappeared. This completely blocked the vision of those on the liner in the harbor, putting these two in seemingly different worlds. Justin, act poor to stay rich. You wouldn't get in. Um, the Berserk Sea had once again shown its horror. The liner failed to avoid or resist, and it could only continue cruising forward along the safe sea route that had relatively weaker storms. What a coincidence. Huh. This probably isn't a coincidence. Standing behind the window of the cabin, Klein sighed inwardly before coming to the conclusion that this sudden anomaly in the Berserk Sea was due to unnatural reasons. Although it was common for the weather in the Berserk Sea to change suddenly without notice, it to actually change at a particular moment in time still left one suspicious. The man at the dock is still tracking the suspicious tourist from last night, and that tourist decided to change the weather upon realizing that he'd been exposed, doing so that he can force the liner to leave. Klein made a guess. What if that is the case? Does that mean the suspicious passenger who hit his face might be a demigod, or someone who carries a grade 1 artifact? After all, Klein with his present strength and items, it was impossible for him to trigger such a weather anomaly without the Sea God Scepter. Of course, he still had other means like Azek's copper whistle to see if he could cause the entire Berserk Sea to go insane. Seriously? I just want to be a normal tycoon that's heading to the southern continent. Why would I encounter a pursuit at the level of demigods? I seriously think it's something like Klein is special, or his soul is special in some sense. That's why he attracts so many demigods and so many problems, because he's basically like a running fucking magnet at all times. Klein gave a self-deprecating laugh and chose to believe the divination he made last night. Amidst the storm, the wobbling liner cruised along in a rather calm stretch with apocalyptic scenes around it. And most of the tourists who wore calm looks, as though they were rather accustomed to such things, only a few people who were on their first trip were trembling. Time ticked by as the gales and lightning calmed down. Bit by bit, the sky brightened. At this moment, Klein, who was on the deck, felt his spiritual perception trigger. He looked in the direction of the Halman harbor. At the undulating dark blue waves, beneath white scattered clouds, there was a white radiant flame flying at high speeds. The flame increased in size and became increasingly clear. It was a gigantic flaming spear. He looked middle-aged, as though he was surveying. The figure had a high nose, deeply recessed eyes, and blue eyes. He was none other than the man who had previously appeared at the dock. He looked middle-aged as he slowly surveyed the area and walked through the wide-eyed and agape tourists before walking into the cabin. Who the fuck is this guy? Dwayne silently heaved a sigh of relief after confirming the man wasn't here for him. Gravity is a social construct? You know what isn't a social construct? This flaming fucking spear, though! Let's go, baby! The way he appeared sure is cool, as expected of a demigod. Now, the only issue is that they don't come to blows. Even if the conflict cannot be helped, it's best they go to the neighboring sea to fight, otherwise there's no way the ship can withstand it. I can teleport away quite successfully, but all these poor tourists. I can only save a few. Klein habitually drew the sign of the Crimson Moon on his chest, praying to the goddess to bless them. Just as he had such a thought, he saw a figure fly out of the cabin, slamming heavily onto the deck. It was none other than the suspicious tourist. This man had already revealed half his face. The tip of his nose was red, and he had a thick beard around his mouth. His nearly triangular eyes were filled with horror. His eyes are triangular? He held his hand to the deck as he kept crawling backwards. Who got you to carry that item and put on the disguise? At the cabin's entrance, the middle-aged man with a high nose and blue eyes walked out. No, I don't know. He was also wearing the same. He gave me £100 to take the ship to the southern continent. The middle-aged man silently watched with his penetrating gaze that seemed to tear through his soul. This made the tourist break out into a sweat as his body convulsed. He once again stammered his explanation, but there weren't any changes to it. The man retracted his gaze before his body burst into a white, radiant flame. Following that, he transformed into a gigantic flaming spear and shot towards the region where the Halman harbor was. Love train? Jesus. The flaming spear quickly disappeared into the distance, leaving a twinkling speck. During this entire process, apart from at the very beginning, the demigod didn't take a second look at the surroundings as though they didn't even exist. A smart but simple ruse. By getting someone to disguise himself on board the ship, then by using certain means to control the weather, thus creating proof that he was on the ship. But in actual fact, he had been at the harbor the entire time. Once the enemy started his pursuit, he can actually escape. The world, the fool. This made him suspect if he was the pursuee was a conspirer, magician, or other beyonder that was good at coming up with ruses. As for the person who transformed into a burning white spear, his arrogance, detestable nature, and the usage of the Intest language had made Klein believe that he was probably a demigod of the hunter pathway. I have no idea why there was a conflict. Klein shook his head and returned to his cabin. What the fuck was this about? I swear this is gonna be important in like 700 chapters. Again, I'm telling you that whole fucking Jack thing actually has me fucking just fucked up. Okay, like every time I think like, oh, this is not important. I'm like, no, Jack. I gotta remember Jack. 400 chapters ago, it was mentioned. Like, Jesus Christ, like I'm actually cooked. I'm actually traumatized, Justin. That's not even fucking funny. I have no idea why there was a conflict. Klein shook his head and returned to his cabin. On the deck, the tourists finally snapped to their senses as they discussed the supernatural phenomenon they had just seen. A person who could transform into a flame, and a flame that could reform into a human. Amidst the noisy commotion, this liner continued cruising forward on the safe sea route. It didn't encounter any accidents midway, and it arrived at the harbor at midnight. Klein took out his pocket watch and opened it to determine the time to head to the restaurant. After half an hour, Klein silently muttered to himself as he looked up out into the window. What the fuck? Why am I losing? I'm actually losing my spot. What is happening? The figure wore a black bonnet and had dark golden sideburns. The lips were tightly pursed as the facial features were clear and distinct, like an ancient classical sculpture without any worries. He wasn't carrying any luggage, and soon he stepped onto the deck with the crowd, disappearing into the corner of the road. He felt every drop of his blood turn cold as a name appeared in his mind. Inzongwil. This motherfucker. Is there a way Klein can kill him right now? I know Klein's only a sequence 5, but can we kill him right now? I don't know. Can we do the whole Gone thing where we like sacrifice our whole future abilities or whatever the fuck Gone did and then just kill him? I don't care. Is there any way we can do that? I don't even care. I don't care. Just kill him. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are other people that are on the list too, but none that are worth as much as him as far as I'm concerned. Fuck this guy, dude. You already forgot about Klein. Oh, Kami, you're right. Sorry, Romero. I did read that. Oh, Kami, you're so clever. Yes, thank you. Why would he be pursued by an Intest hunter demigod? What the fuck is he plotting? Amidst his churning thoughts, Klein suddenly took out the adventurer's harmonica and blew it. Silently, Miss Messenger, Marionette's hindcur, with her 4 blonde, red-eyed heads appeared. Klein opened his mouth before closing them again. Picking up a pen, he wrote, Mr. Dwayne Dantes has discovered traces of Inzongwil on Waypoint Island in the Berserk Sea. Folding the letter, Klein handed it along with a golden coin to Miss Messenger, sent it to the mailbox on Backlund 7 Pinster Street. But Leonard isn't at home. What would this do? Klein knows Leonard isn't at home, so sending him a letter there doesn't mean anything. The 4 heads in Marionette's hindcur's hand turned at the same time as the 8 eyes looked at Klein. They didn't say anything, but bit onto the letter and the coin. 9:06. Leonard's warning. Leonard! Leonard! Kill Lin Songwil and my soul is yours! Backland, Northborough, the pitch-black night that had the crimson moon surrounded by clouds. There were only street lamps on two sides of the road that emitted a faint light, illuminating the road ahead. 7 Pinster Street's mailbox was silently hiding, in the intersection between light and dark, bathing in a cool breeze that blew from the side as though it was in a slumber. Bro, isn't Leonard like a Sequence 6 right now? How's he gonna kill? He can't kill him, but he works in the church, bro. And the church hates that guy. That guy not only betrayed the church, he stole a a grade 0 sealed artifact. Bro, they would kill him. The church would just send an angel to kill that guy, you know? At this moment, the newspapers, bills, and letters from various unknown people suddenly spewed out from its mouth. These objects seemed to be dragged by an invisible hand as they floated in midair before flying towards the door and entering through a gap. I still don't understand why Klein keeps running into In Zongwil. Like, it wasn't deleted, you can read it. I have to be careful, okay, Dr. Z? You've built quite a reputation for yourself. I believe Klein was going to ask Raynette for help before changing his mind. That's why he didn't, that's why he, okay, I see. Like, why is In Zong coincidence? Yeah, there are no coincidences. Unless 008 is like, keeps bringing Insta Klein because he's like, listen, I can't kill you because you're kind of clever, but I'm going to bring you to someone who's cleverer than you, who's going to kill you. Do you know what I mean? It's a reasonable development. I guess. Inside the house, at the foyer, the newspapers automatically spread open as they flipped over, then they were casually left on the chair, stacking over other newspapers. The bills and letters continued flying in the living room, with the former quickly stopping. With a few shakes, they floated to the surface of the coffee table and lined up. The latter had their envelopes removed, and the letters, without envelopes, quickly unfolded themselves, showcasing themselves in midair. After a while, a portion of these letters flew onto a rack and onto the first floor study. Some rushed with the scissors to help cut itself apart, and then orderly surged into the washroom and were thrown into the toilet. The mechanical flush of the toilet was automatically depressed, washing away the paper shreds into the sewers. 7 Pinster Street returned to normal. Southern Continent, East Balam, Colane City. Leonard Mitchell, who had just arrived, was resting in his residence when a sudden voice appeared in its mind. Punk, you have an important letter. Wait, so that was Miss Messenger trying to get into contact with the Zoroaster? I can't remember his fucking name. Whatever. How did she... Palace, yes. It's not Miss Messenger. That's his name. Read it's in the next one. Okay. What letter? Leonard asked softly. To mail an important letter to 7 Pinster Street without caring if it was uninhabited. There was only one. No, 2 people. Klein and Dwayne Dantes. Oh, I see. Okay. As for why the old man named Palace Zoroast could still clearly read the letter sent to 7 Pinster Street despite being at the Berserk Sea, and Leonard only had a guess or two. This was because he had helped an old man capture a spectre before. With regards to this, his theory was the old man used a worm of time to parasitize that spectre, making it his eyes, ears, and mouth in the northern continent. Is that even possible? What the fuck? It's from Klein Moretti. He said that while Dwayne Dantes was heading to the southern continent, he discovered traces of Insongwil on the Waypoint Island in the Berserk Sea. Leonard fell silent. After a while, he muttered, as expected, he didn't forget the need for revenge. What can I do? What can you do? You're a mere Sequence 6. Even if Ince didn't have 008, you don't have the abilities to do anything to him. He just needs to reveal his mythical creature form to make you lose control. The chances of you getting revenge are 0. This is the qualitative change of godhood. Thankfully, you understand yourself in a way that's better than before. In the past, you definitely would have said that you would inform the church with news of Ince and join the team to pursue him. Now, you know to ask what you can do. What you can do is to give Klein some information, wait for him to write back to you, then based on the arrangements written, provide assistance. So no finding excuses to inform the Church of Ince's location? Leonard asked. No hurry. Do it at the critical moment. That does do all sorry, I know I've asked this before, but do all pathways have like a certain sequence? That sequence might differ, where you get like an IQ boost, because like I feel like that's really clever. Which god pathway do you think has the most absurd abilities? So far, I think the most absurd in my mind are probably Spectator. I feel like the shit that... Now, I'm basing this off of, like, fucking, Ankh-Vault, so, you know, take that with a grain of salt. But, like, I feel like the shit that Ankh-Vault did is insanity. He just made up a book that can make its whole fucking universe. That's insane. Well, maybe not universe, but, like, world. But you get the point. Although 008 enjoys causing its possessor's death, it doesn't wish to be sealed even more so. As long as you inform the Church of Ince's location and begin a pursuit, it will immediately learn of it and make the arrangements. Generally, all high sequences improve everything about you, even IQ. Oh, I see, okay. Although, regarding this, you will need to warn Klein. Old man, you seem to know 008 well. Of course I am. During the 4th epoch, 008 caused the death of an angel. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe 008... Because my theory... I thought that 008 was from Nightmare. Not Ankh-Vault, but his kid. But maybe this is from Ankh-Vault, because... It killed an angel? Bro, so much, like, such wild stuff is happening, and then we just have, like, the most chillest personified music in the background. It's keeping me calm, for real. I can't tell you too much because once you know of it, it will know of you. The more you know about it, the more likely you become a character in the story. Leonard came to an actual realization of 008's terror from the old man's words. After some thought, Leonard asked, then how should I hint to Klein without letting 008 know? Or that even if he were to know, it would be very superficial knowledge, making me a bystander. An indirect hint? I'll tell him I'll temporarily not inform the Church of Ince's location. I believe that he should be able to understand that if there's a problem, based on the situation. He will understand that we need to be very cautious. And even if he fails to interpret that, His secret organization has members who understand the fourth epoch enough to help him. Also, just write in the sentence, once you know it, it will also know you. Without mentioning 008 should be enough for client to guess what I'm pointing to. Write that down. Write what down? Like that once you know of it, it will know of you? Klein's organization, which is him, himself, and him. Yeah, love that. I mean, there are other people. Okay, give me a second. The Fool will help Klein trust. Bro, he is actually the Trinity. I feel like there's some pretty serious Christian undertones on this. He's the believer, he's the Holy Spirit, and he's God. That's obviously not the Trinity in Christianity, but you get the point. Unless you don't know, and then I can explain it, but you get the point. Do you think that sequence 0 beyonder characteristics can exist by combining the one and uniqueness? I don't think so, Pushkar. I don't think a sequence 0 characteristic is a thing. I think like the person or like the vessel of the angel is the sequence 0 characteristic. And if a sequence 0 dies, it splits back up into 3 sequence 1s and the uniqueness. I don't think like if a sequence 0 dies, there's a sequence 0 characteristic that you can just nom 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 and then become a sequence 0. Oh, but my super... Fuck, that's a great point. I would then assume that a super god... Okay, here's the thing. I don't understand. Okay. Fuck, okay, I feel like we're not going to get much reading done today. Okay. I don't know... Yeah, actually, you know what? It's better if I just paint it than if I just say it. Just hold on. Okay. So I don't know if a super god exists if he devours the 2 or 3 gods beneath him. I don't know if it's sort of like a sequence 0 existing and then like no sequence 1s can exist, or if the sequence 0 gods exist and the super god still somehow exists on top. I don't know how that would work, but like it seems to me, especially with like the Mother Tree of Desire, the Chained God, it seems to me that the Mother Tree of Desire is a super god, and the Chained God is somehow down here, but they both seem to exist at the same time. It's not that like the Mother Tree of Desire to exist, she had to consume the Chained God. It seems like the Chained God exists and the Mother Tree of Desire exists at the same time. Like how a sequence 7 and 8 can exist at the same time without the 7 needing to kill 8. You know what I mean? I don't know how that would work. I don't know how you would become a super god. I got no clue on that. I want to be really clear. To be perfectly frank, I still don't have any proof that the super god even exists. It just logically makes sense to me, because otherwise I don't understand why pathways are interchangeable. It doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, Gehrman and Klein exist at the same time. Truer words, FQ, truer words. Kinky as fuck, not unsurprising. Jesus Christ, okay. After Pallas finished listening, he chuckled and said, "Humans will only grow under pressure." Aw, that's sweet. There's also Danitz. Oh, true. Now we actually have a believer. We actually also have a demigod believer now. We have the Colin. Iliad. Yes. There's like neighboring pathways. A person can get 3. I don't know. Again, Blaze, you're technically right in that a person could theoretically get 3 uniquenesses. But then the problem is if you get 3 uniquenesses and you kill, let's say, all the sequence 1 angels of the 3 corresponding pathways, you can, let's say, theoretically become a super god. But then that means there are no sequence 0s under you. You are just a super god, and the sequence 0s under you are empty, and the sequence 1s are also empty. But that doesn't feel like it would work. Because, like, I still think there are super gods, and there are sequence 0s underneath him. Bye, Thunder. Thanks for popping by, man. I appreciate it. Everyone watching in Void is in VODs are just gonna be like, he's actually schizoid. Leonard exhaled and sat up, found a pen, and penned his thoughts. Not enough blue in chat today? That's okay. Chained God could be a sequence 1? Could be. I just don't think it is. You don't even know the sequence from the Chained God? True. Listen, Arter, I want to be really clear. The amount of things I know is very heavily limited, okay? So, that doesn't mean anything. I know nothing. They could be a subsidiary god. This is true. Berserk Sea, Waypoint Island. On the liner docked at the harbor, many tourists weren't alighting. They were huddling in the lower deck cabins, waiting to arrive at the southern continent before to begin a life filled with hope. They had undergone a great deal of effort to save up the fare that spanned a few short days. They were from Lone, and those were forced to take such risks. Klein, who was acting as a tycoon, Dwayne wasn't like them. He lived in a spacious, first-class cabin and could be described as luxurious. Under some candlelight, he opened a letter that had just been delivered. Will not be informing the Church of Ince's location for the time being. To Leonard, although the source of information might put him in danger, it's not impossible. Didn't he just join the Red Gloves to seek revenge? This means that he has a reason he can't sound the alarm. As Klein thought about it, he read the rest. Once you know it, it will know you too. Suddenly, Klein found the description somewhat familiar. Asraf, I knew someone was gonna say this. I know people worshipped Kalvatua. And that wasn't even a angel. That was technically only a saint, right? Because it was a sequence 3. Yes. Kalvatua was sequence 3, right? But I still don't think, I don't know, I still don't think the Chained God is a sequence 1 or 2. I don't know. This is very similar to the Twilight Hermit Order. Any mention of it will be known. So 008 is the sealed artifact of the Spectator pathway. Yeah, how did you not figure that out until now, Klein? I knew that way long ago. Get it together. Leonard isn't informing the church because of this. He wishes to wait for a better opportunity. This is likely something that the grandpa told him. Klein nodded in thought, feeling thankful that he hadn't asked Raynette for help moments ago. This would have been equally dangerous for Miss Messenger. Besides, most important of all, I haven't made any preparations. If I were to only rely on a helper I hire, my plan might very well be detected by 008. A series of coincidences would then be created, producing a targeted arrangement. Klein felt at a loss how to begin. From the angle of improving his strength, the acquirement of the corresponding ingredients of Bizarro Bane and Spirit World Plunderer of the subsequent request. On the subsequent request of the City of Silver's chief and how long Miss Magician could receive the exact coordinates from her teacher were all dependent on external factors. The only thing he could do was try his best to digest the marionettist potion. After concluding most of the acting principles, the actual implementation was more important. Therefore, Klein believed that he needed to obtain 2 marionnettists quickly. He had previously been delaying it because he didn't have any good targets. It stemmed from him being in backland with servants around him. Unless they were special marionettes, it was difficult to hide their existences. And now he was almost at the southern continent. He decided that as long as he identified an evil target who deserved death, he would transform them into his first marionette until he had a better replacement. I feel like, am I crazy? Or I feel like having a marionettist that you can't hide is better than having one you can hide. Because a marionettist you can like prance around with all day. He could be sort of like your servant or whatever. But then now you're acting as a marionettist all the time. Like that marionette is with you all the time. People are seeing him. Presumably you can make him talk to people all the time. You can make him do things. So you're acting as a marionettist way more. Whereas Klein was hiding the... Yes, the marionette is the fucking thing and Klein is the marionettist. Yes, I got it, username. Chill. East Balam, Colaine City, Klein carried his luggage and stepped onto the dock, touching ground on the southern continent. He looked into the distance at the city. He said to himself, I have to have 2 marionettists when I leave this place. Yes, but you need a good marionettist, which would be a crazy evil bad guy, but you keep saying marionettist for marionette. I don't think I did. I probably did. I've realized the further you go into Lord of the Mysteries, the more vague my memory of it is. I think that probably makes sense though, FQ, right? Because just logically, I think the last time someone asked you this question was too long ago, so you probably changed your mind. What's your top 10 character? Klein personas excluded? Oh, my top 10 characters? You're gonna love who's gonna come in just a few chapters. Ooh, I'm excited now. My top 10 Dude, I'm so sorry, Romero. I need to stop reading chat. I feel like I've read like 10 messages that Romero's deleted. Eridus in my top 10? Fuck no. It's a fucking mirror. What do you mean is it in my top 10? Fuck no. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. Yeah, you know what? We're right. We're reading. Fuck it. 4's in the top 10? How dare you say that to Mr. Fool's loyal servant? It's a fucking, it's a mirror. So you hate Susie because she's a dog? No, there's a substantive difference between a dog and a fucking mirror, bro. Come on. And before that, he had one thing to do. It was to lose the tail of the followers that the military had arranged. Oh no, it's going to be me saying marionettist when I meant to say marionette or vice versa. The 2 gentlemen were rather good at being spies, but to Klein, they were as bright as fireflies in the night. This was because no matter how well disguised they were, Klein could use his faceless ability of observation and memory of a human's physical characteristic to recognize them instantly. 907, The Power of Mysticism. Ooh, what are we going to do with mysticism? You know what? Let's just kill these 2 spies and make them marionettes. They haven't done anything to warrant death, but they work in the military, and the military's done some bad stuff, so let's just kill them. I'm a bad person. Yeah, don't listen to me too seriously on anything. Oh, I did do that. Okay, that time I did do it. I do remember. Okay, I do recall that. That's fair. Fuck. Most of the Colane city's buildings were built on paths that spiraled upwards. There'd be squares or small towns in the middle or on a rather flat surface. Klein carried his luggage, and with his spiritual intuition as a seer, he randomly chose a direction to proceed in, and found a relatively lively bar. There weren't many carriages on the streets, and the rental types were a rare sight. The most popular mean of transportation in East Balam was a coffin. This stemmed from their traditions of worshipping death. People viewed coffins as items that brought about serenity and peace. Therefore, Klein often saw people walking past him carrying black coffins. The lids were lighter than usual, and they were like a carriage door that could be opened at any time. How is this peak, Milos? This is a lot of things. I would not use the word peak for it, though. Probably not the right word. Feels kind of nuts. They're carrying you in a coffin. As the lid was opened, the passenger inside the coffin stood up and took a step forward. He was a Northern Continent-style gentleman. This gentleman's formal coat was slung across his arm, something he only wore after he left the coffin. I want to try being carried in a coffin without dying. You can sleep peacefully. Yes, because when people are walking, carrying the thing you're traveling, and doing this along the way because of the bumpy roads, sounds like you're just being rocked to sleep, aren't you? Klein then saw the man head straight for the Lord of Storm's cathedral. This sure is quite discordant. Doesn't the Church of Storm enjoy changing the tradition of the colonies and forcibly implementing those of Lone? Why don't they do that in East Balam? Is it because the Death Pathway and the Evernight Pathway are so similar? So the Church of Storm wishes to preserve some of the traditions of death worship so as to curb the proliferation of the Evernight Church? Klein nodded in thought as he turned his buildings on the right. Imagine pulling up to a guy's funeral in a coffin. He's like, I beat you to it, bitch. Can't be worse than off-road. Yeah, but imagine being carried in a coffin off-road. Think about how bad that fucking rockin' is, you know? Jesus Christ, that sounds horrible. Having experienced it personally, he came to a realization why the dressing style of the ancient Balam Empire was written as such in so many history books. They enjoy wearing trousers that are light and breezy. They find creases beautiful. Isn't this to make it easier to lie in a coffin when outside? Klein snuck his way through into a bar to the counter. At this moment, the two military followers had deliberately opened up a distance from Duane to prevent themselves from being exposed. They walked to the side door. Despite this brief reprieve, Klein suddenly switched directions and passed through the crowd like a fish through water, heading straight for the bar's back door. Although he didn't know Dutanese, he could read drawings on signs and knew where the washroom and places of entry were. After circling to a blind spot from the door, Klein quickly took off his coat and slung it on his arm. Immediately, with his golden cane, he reached out his palm to cover his face and slowed down his pace. Turning directions again, heading for the bar's entrance. After opening up a distance of nearly 10 meters from where he took off a coat, Klein lowered his face, shielding his right hand to completely cover a different face. His white sideburns, deep eyes, and elegant demeanor were all gone. He switched to a common, Lowanese face that could be seen anywhere. With luggage and cane in hand, Klein walked steadily towards the two military followers as they were looking for Duane Dantes. He walked straight past them. What a bitch. Be it tracking or anti-tracking, they were both strong traits of a faceless. Returning to... Bro, he's gonna get these two fucking men fired. They're gonna report to their... they're gonna have to report to their captain thing and be like, "Sir, we lost him." What the fuck do you mean you lost him? He's holding $20,000 worth of fucking weaponry that we're supposed to give him, and you fucking lost him? What do you mean? As he walked to the rather deserted path, he suddenly heard a woman's frantic cries. The voice was maintained for a short amount of time before it was silenced, although he didn't know what she was shouting. Clown could sense the horror and panic in her voice. Hence, he switched directions and entered a narrower, more deserted trail. In less than 10 seconds, he saw a local man in his 30s who was pressing against a 13 or 14-year-old girl and using violence against her. Klein took a glance and slowed down his pace before stopping in the nearby shadows. At this moment, the girl's face was horrified and distorted. "Put this guy down. Kill him right now." However, regardless of how she struggled, she was unable to break free and only received a beating. Her cries and snot flowed out from her face while her mouth was stuffed with a cloth. All she could do was produce muffling sounds. Kill him. Kill him. Just walk up behind him and just go and just yoink his head off. At this moment, she was surprised that the rotten egg's attempts to take off her clothes had slowed down. Without having the time to consider what was happening, she looked at the rotten egg and found that his eyes widened, his facial muscles were writhing, but he was unable to form an expression. Oh, Klein is taking initial control. Then his limbs twitched and paused as they continued doing what they were doing, but very slowly. The girl pushed him, which had ended up having surprisingly excellent effects. Freed, she stood up and ran away. However, she couldn't help but feel her legs go limp. After a few steps, she tripped over a stone and fell. No, Nagito, we're reading right now. Okay, remind me at the end of stream. We'll do top 10. We're not doing this right now. Okay, I have to read. This is insane. I've been live for an hour and I've read like 2 chapters. I can't do this. I've built a brand on reading quickly. People are going to be watching VODs going, what the fuck is happening here? At this moment, she heard the footsteps behind her. Reeling in anxiety, she fumbled to her feet. But almost immediately, the sound of footsteps ceased. The girl subconsciously looked back, only to see the rotten egg standing 2 meters away. His joints were making strange actions, as though they were rusted. What's happening? The girl felt as though she was having a nightmare. The brown-skinned man struggled for a moment before quieting down. Revealing a smile, he said in Dutenese, "In the future, when you meet people like me, remember to head to the nearest cathedral or somewhere where there's plenty of people." The girl was taken aback for a moment before she screamed, turning around as fast as she could. Subconsciously, she chose to run in the direction of the square where the cathedral was. When the calm and silence of the deserted spot was restored, the brown-skinned man turned around to look at the nearby shadow where Klein walked out from. A new marionette. His body isn't strong and he's not nimble. He doesn't have any Beyonder powers, but he looks rather fierce. Apart from knowing Dutenese, he's rather useless. If it wasn't because he was committing a crime and that I wasn't proficient in the local language, I would have just buried him. Bro, fuck Dutenese. Just don't bury this man. You know what? He doesn't even deserve a proper burial. Just fucking throw him into the ocean. Fuck this guy. He couldn't help but compare to his former marionette, the Admiral of Blood. Senor was a wraith and was capable of mirror blank. He could hide in gold coins and reflective surfaces. I didn't need to worry that he'd be seen by others. He also had Shriek and the ability to possess. Together with a marionettist, it was a perfect combination. More importantly, he also knew Dutenese. Comparing this marionette and him were like the difference between a penny and 42,000 pounds. He said, bro, you are worth a penny. I don't know what his name is, and I can only use powers to sense some superficial thoughts. I have no way of obtaining deeper memories unless I encounter someone or something familiar. There would be a corresponding change in the spirit to release some information. I'll just call him Ah Fu. No, that's too Chinese. Oaf, it is. Klein rubbed his temples and sighed. He needed to leave the area with oath before the girl led the clergyman over. Before long, with the help of his new marionette's translations, he found an inn to stay at the border between Colane City's flourishing and backward area. This place didn't need him to provide any proof of identity, even though Klein had already changed his appearance to that of a local. There's an even greater lack of administration management than in the colonies. Klein put down his luggage and threw most of the cash he had brought above the grey fog, leaving only 50 pounds. Meanwhile, he's actually using what I would assume is like a grade 0 sealed artifact as a fucking, spare bedroom. Or like storage room or something. Meanwhile, having crossed the Berserk Sea and without needing to be afraid of causing any further anomalies, he took down Azek's whistle and the iron cigar case from the mysterious space above the grey fog. No worries, Pushkar. Thanks for staying for so long, man. Appreciate it. After finishing all of this and having dinner on the liner, he had spare time to seek out the second marionette. As for how he could find one, Klein, who didn't understand the city well, decided on using his traits as a seer to do some mysticism. Ooh. With oath, he left the inn. Klein snapped a branch of the Donningsman tree and used it as a dowsing rod. With great familiarity, he used cogitation and muttered, "Location of my new marionette." In the silent environment, pairs of cold eyes seemed to pierce through the obstruction of the incorporeal and corporeal and landed on the dowsing rod. Can he do that? Location of my new marionette? But that's like... It's like a question that has its answer built in. So it's basically asking a rhetorical question and he still gets an answer. The branch fell to the ground and pointed in a direction. After advancing forward a little, he did another divination and followed his new revelation. 7 or 8 turns later, he arrived at a steep staircase. The staircase was connected to... No worries, username. Why isn't there anyone here? The result isn't accurate because I didn't do a divination above the grey fog, but I must sequence 5. My divination abilities are definitely one of the best below that of high sequencers. Klein surveyed the area, unable to find anything. After some thought, he walked to the staircase and sat in the shadows of the lowest step. He then waited in boredom. After a few minutes, he stood up again and made Oaf sit where he was sitting. Klein then opened up a gap to him and hid 200 meters away. Colane City, Lower Lip District, Leonard Mitchell, and Daly Simone arrived at a nearby district with the Red Glove Captain, Soest. When did Daly become a... Is Daly a Red Glove too, or is she just helping with this? Because I was under the impression that Daly's not a Red Glove. But now she's just been chilling with Leonard for so long. I don't know. With the night as cover, Soest emphasized the operation to all members once again. Our target is Ulika, who lives in Unit 13. He's a rather important member of the Numinous Episcopate and is in charge of communicating with different small teams in Backland. Helping? Okay. Although all of our intelligence points to him not being a demigod, I have applied for a grade 1 artifact to be safe. She's a deacon. She's like a Red Glove captain. I assume she's like a Red Glove captain in like rank. Oh, okay, in rank. Yeah, exactly. Her Excellency, Goddess's Eye, is also ready to provide any assistance at any moment. Also, most of the residents of this district are locals. We have to be wary of them, also being members of the Numinous Episcopate. Lower Lip District, 13 Canine Street. Is Klein gonna get a goddamn Red Glove as a new marionette? No, Klein wouldn't do that. That'd be mean. He has like all sorts of morals and stuff. Ugh. I'll tell you the number after. How many Tarot Club meetings we've had? Okay, well, let's think about it. How many Tarot Clubs there have been, Nagito, or how many Tarot Club meetings we have read? Because there's probably been like a whole bunch that we skipped. All in all, I would assume like, I don't know, 120? Because I think it's been about no, not 120. What am I talking about? All in all, I would say like 60. Sorry, my math I was doubling it for some reason. You have been? 40? Let's say 40. Sorry, ignore the first guess. Yeah, I know I can calculate it, but it feels like cheating. I'm just going off instinct here. Okay. 49. Ah, fuck. Okay, I was close. That was not bad. The plump Yulika was sitting on a sofa with his tiny dark brown skin and eyes, wrapping a dried yellowed tobacco leaf and different kinds of southern continent herbs and spices. Then he held his self-made East Balam smoke pipe in his hand and brought it close to the matchstick of his subordinate and lit it. The end blackened and curled as it glowed red. Biting on its end and taking in a deep suck. Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah, someone's gonna clip that. Fuck you guys. Ulika exhaled, and white smoke that was tainted with light blue hues came out. He looked at the visitor on the single-seater opposite him. This is what a cigarette is. A real cigarette. The ones in the northern continent are only suitable for children. The person sitting on the single-seater was a man in his 40s. He had a high nose, blue eyes, and gentle facial contours. He resembled someone with mixed blood from Leonard and Balam. Unfortunately, I have zero interest in any kind of cigarettes. Enzo, you don't know how to live at all. Before Ulika could finish his sentence, his powerful spirituality told him that there was some danger. The way it suddenly came and appeared in such a pressing manner made Ulika instantly determine that the problem was a trivial. Is Klein gonna get Ulika as his fucking marionette now? He had yet to leap away from where he was sitting when he saw the darkness. It was as though he could directly see the night sky. A strong sense of sleepiness overwhelmed him as he felt a level of serenity. A nightmare, probably? Along the canine, or a solashore, I guess. Along Canine Street, be it the houses with lit lamps or extinguished lamps, it became abnormally silent at that moment. It was as though no living beings lived there, or that everyone had fallen asleep. At this moment, the snoring and slumped Ulika suddenly leapt up. His eyes were a strange combination of reverie and lucidity. Behind him, a near illusory girl with pale skin was stuck to his back at some point. The girl's eyes were bluish-green and her lips jet black. Her eyes were looking to the side, and her ghostly pale and translucent limbs had drilled into Ulika's body. Her existence brought a chill to his soul body, making Ulika barely resist his abnormal sleepiness as he broke free from the influence of a nightmare. Now, we only got like 32 Tarot Club meetings, but Romero, there's been... Klein's been in this world for about a year and a half. Year and a half is 70-ish. 75, maybe. Weeks. One per week. That's why I got to 70, and then I realized, like, okay, we probably skipped, like, a ton of them, so that's why I went with 40. 32 feels too low, no? I mean, maybe I'm wrong. You're the expert. Don't get me wrong. A year is 52 weeks, Nagito, but close. Her existence... before Ulika could completely regain his lucidity, he instinctively rushed to the staircase. Extending his palms, and he exerted strength towards the front, as though he was pushing open a door that didn't exist. In the blink of an eye, a difficult-to-describe bronze door, covered in mysterious patterns, appeared in front of Ulika. It wobbled and created an opening. The gap led to an endless darkness that was indescribable. Meanwhile, large amounts of squirming and strange objects that were still unrecognized surged wildly from the gap. No, Justin, I work in banking. I need to know how many weeks there are because I need to calculate someone's salary, right? Like if someone says like I get paid $2,000 bi-weekly, okay, well how many is that? 2,000 x 26 because 52 weeks bi-weekly divided by 2, 26. So like it's not, I'm not like wise. It's literally just it's stuff I need to know. Yulika was about to continue exerting strength to open the door and cause the terrifying world behind him to descend upon the canine street, when he suddenly saw a pair of pale, translucent palms appear out of thin air. They passed through the deep sky, the deep darkness, and pressed down on the interior of the door's gap. So it's almost a year? I thought Klein had been here for more than a year. It's only been a year that he's been in this world, and he's like a pissing distance away from Demigod? Bro, these guys are fucking slackers. Captain Dunn, love him to death, rest in peace, my goat, was a Beyonder for 7 years, and he was a sequence 7? Bro, slacking. Maybe if he didn't keep eating his fucking teammates, he could get some... God damn. The palms didn't originate from anything. They weren't connected to a body, and the wrists were bloody. It was unknown who had severed them. Both parties exerted their strength as the mysterious bronze door stopped moving. It was neither opened nor opening further. High above Unit 13, Soest, who was already a spirit warlock, was floating in midair thanks to an invisible force. His hands carried a sundial made of gold as he slowly raised it high. When the golden sundial finally raised above Soest's head, a resplendent glow flowed out and quickly outlined and became one. Suddenly, another sun seemed to appear in midair, directing all the light and heat at 13 Canine Street. Klein has been using demigods and evil god vessels as targets for acting. No other person can do that. No other person wants to do that. Okay, Dr. Z? There's nothing you can't do, okay? You can do it. Believe in yourself. When suddenly, another sun seemed to appear in midair, directing all the light and heat at 13 Canine Street. None of that caused any damage as they penetrated through the building and landed through the bronze door, enveloping Yulika. Yulika suddenly grimaced in extreme pain as the pale and nearly translucent girl let out a shrill scream. But it was stopped by the sunlight and drowned by the onslaught. She warped and quickly evaporated, producing wisps of black gas that dissipated into the sea of light. There wasn't a single spot inside the building that remained dark. Bro, this man just created a fucking sun. So you can be a demoness? I can be. I won't, but I could be. And I'd make a great one too. After the sunlight faded, the indescribable bronze door had vanished. On the ground was a black, swollen corpse that was effusing yellow oil stains. With a boom, the corpse tore apart as a thin, tiny figure leapt out. This figure was identical to Yulika, but its skin was raven black, as though it was stained in ink. The surface of its body, that stood at a height of around 1.2 or 1.3 meters, had sticky pus flowing across it. The moment he appeared, he dashed forward for the staircase at ludicrous speed. Burrowing into the cellar, he opened up a secret trapdoor he had prepared in advance as he dashed through as fast as he could. Milos, we're still really far from that, man. I gave you guys a goal, okay? As soon as we get there, I will make one. In just 10 seconds, the miniaturized black version of Yulika saw the entrance, Hope. Everyone can be the best demoness if they're a high enough sequence, sure. In just 10 seconds, the miniaturized black version of Yulika saw the entrance. Hope. He didn't lower his guard as he gently clenched his right fist, producing about 8 transparent, illusory figures from his body. There were all kinds of shapes and sizes, as though there was an abomination that fused the characteristics of humans, plants, and certain animals. Is Frank here? What the fuck? And Klein has several connections to get information and ingredients from the start. Bro. I feel like Klein, if he joined the secret order... wait, actually, do we know? Don't obviously tell me if we don't. Does the secret order have the entirety of the seer pathway, or do we not know? If we don't, then don't worry about it. Obviously. There were all kinds of shapes and sizes, as though they were an abomination that fused the characteristics. Nope, already read this. Right on the heels of that, a mechanical switch was shifted. Gears started rotating as the exit door flung open, leading to a silent and dark street corner. Further ahead, it was said Zaratul always gave the maid potions of his pathway. Damn, what a bitch. Further ahead were streets that stood on lower ground, and on the two sides of the street were rows of houses that appeared like the sea that churned with the light of the crimson moon. Zaratul's kind of a bitch, yo. He almost got my boy Klein killed by giving him the wrong fucking symbol. And he doesn't give out potion formulas, only the potions? What a bitch. Ulika was about to use the help of a spirit to fly out of the secret passage and disappear into the other districts, when his eyes reflected a foggy lake. The lake shimmered with light, producing a tranquil beauty. In the middle, concentric circles rippled out as a beautiful, illusory figure floated up. This was a powerful type of spirit. Human legends deemed it the goddess of the lake. Many a time, the strength of a spirit guide depended on the deceased or a natural spirit they found and controlled. It was the same with spirit warlocks. However, the inclination for spirit guides were the deceased, while for spirit warlocks, they were better at controlling natural spirits. At the same time, the strange, transparent figures around Ulika uttered a monotonous sound of horror. Throwing away the arms and legs they were carrying, they drilled into the thin, pitch-black body like the wind. If given a chance, will he transmigrate in Lord of the Mysteries? Ask me at the end of the series, because right now, my instinct is to say yes, but I feel like this is some fucking horrifying shit, and I'm gonna fucking die immediately or something as soon as I enter. But again, ask me after I finish the book. Queen, how's it going? Thanks for popping by. Right now, I would probably want to transmigrate, but again, ask me at the end of the series. Actually, wait, Queen, you're actually a great person to ask. You're at about chapter 1000, right? I give her to, I don't know how much you've been reading in the past couple of days. Would you transmigrate into Lord of the Mysteries if given the chance? I think you're a great person to ask too, because you're like about where I am. A little bit ahead, but similar. With a crash, Ulika fell to the ground, but he didn't feel any pain, which is a result of intense sleepiness assaulting him. No. Hell no. Okay. I'm at chapter 1200. The answer is hell no. No? Okay. See? See, it's always can't this, can't that. You can. Believe in yourself. Even Romero doesn't want to? Yeah, because he would realize that he would be forsaken by his god. The deceased spirit he fused with is very... At the exit, Daily Simone, who was wearing a spirit medium robe with her face lit up, walked out of the shadows and said, "The deceased spirit he fused with is strange. If it doesn't use the living human bodies as a house, it will quickly dissipate. We need to make every second count to get information." Leonard Mitchell walked out of the shadows and asked, "Aren't you a spirit guide? How do you control a goddess of the lake?" "Aren't you a poet? Why don't you write poems?" Daly snapped back. "Yeah, bitch, what's up?" On the other end of the street, on a gentle cliff, a figure quickly moved downwards with a protruded piece of rock landing in the shadowy corners of the street below. His skin was light-colored and his eyes blue. He wore a thick raven black hair that curled lightly. He was none other than Enzo, who had been a guest at Ulika's place. Enzo wasn't a member of the numinous episcopate. He was a traitor of the life school of thought that had escaped under the enticement of the Rose School of Thought. This guy's a fucking traitor, bro. Kill him. Oh my god, Queen, I think this might be the first time the difference between you and me is sub 100 chapters. I think I've had pretty good pace, okay? I think I've had pretty good pace. I definitely don't want to transmigrate, but if I one day to transmigrate, the first thing I would do is pray to Romero's Lord. But wouldn't you immediately lose control if you pray to the true creator? What's your plan when you finish Lord of the Mysteries? To sleep peacefully. Nah, to smile at a grateful universe. You start work tomorrow? No, Queen. I haven't heard from the hiring manager, from like the branch manager, for when my start date is. So if I had to guess, it's probably next Monday. To read RI? Fuck no. Mother of Learning? Maybe. Mother of Learning? Maybe. Reverend Insanity, if I do read? Yeah, FQ. Yeah. Well, we've talked about this all the time. To read Toma. What is that? What is Toma? What the fuck is... Is that the... Username? I want to read RI. I want to read Reverend Insanity. It sounds awesome, and I totally feel like I would enjoy it. But fuck, I'm throwing a magical arcana. I see. Yes. Yes. Romero has told me of that one. That one's a lot very sciencey, so I feel like I would like it. But I also wouldn't read it on stream because it would expose my sheer lack of scientific knowledge. Mother of Learning is better. Yeah, Mother of Learning is shorter too, so I'd probably read that one. It is very good. Yeah, but Romero spoiled its big twist. For who? For you? I don't know. I haven't read it. Don't worry, we'll teach you. How old are you, Nagito? So you think you expect me to go, yeah, Nagito knows chemistry? Yeah, great. Love that. Yeah. Okay, bud. You ain't that guy, pal. You ain't that guy. Wiz Hall of Time. You're, like, wrong. Lord of the Mysteries, by the time I finish it, is probably going to be, like, 6 or 7 months. How fucking long do you think it's going to take me to finish Reverend Insanity? 2 years? Like, fuck me. Read either Mother of Learning or The Perfect Run. I am leaning towards Perfect Run, Khaled, because we... See, like, if like Dr. Z talks to me about like chemistry, okay, I'd probably trust her because, you know, she'd probably understand more about like chemical reactions and synthesis and fucking making solutions and all that bullshit. I would read Perfect Run because I think it has to do with gambling and I would yeah, enjoy that. Oh god. But Mother of Learning better? Perhaps, but it's shorter, so checkmate. No, I'm just kidding. We'll do a poll. Give me a couple of suggestions for like relatively short. When I say short, like they can be like let's say 200 Lord of the Mysteries chapters. So if it's like 100 chapters but they're twice as long, whatever, that's fine. Or if they're like 500 chapters but it's like half the size, that's also fine. About 200 Lord of the Mysteries chapters, no more, no less. Well, less is fine, actually. Fuck that. We'll do that, and then we'll go from there. Mother of Learning is one of the best first web novels, but it's not my first. I'm just kidding. It's my second. It doesn't really matter. Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint when? Guy, Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint is interesting because I want to read it, especially because there's a... thing. There's a donghua coming out next year. My concern is more that, like, I've read a decent bit of the manhwa, so that would cover a lot of the web novel, because I want to say, like, I've read, like, I don't know the amount, but, like, I've read a decent bit of the manhwa, and I feel like that would make reading it so unbelievably boring at the start, because, like, most of it would be like, yeah, know this, whatever. It's like, Alright, gonna lurk. Alright, sounds good, Queen. Okay. Okay, let's get back to reading now. Furthermore, he was neither a beyonder of the apothecary pathway that led to the vampire sequence, nor did he worship the primordial moon. He was only a person who didn't wish to accept the various rules set by his teacher and his teacher's teacher. I like Deep Sea Ember, so it's 900 chapters, so not that one. Fuck, no. Okay. Give me 2 seconds. My phone's about to die. I'm just going to put it on charge real quick. Give me 2 quick seconds. God damn, I really need to fucking change the battery on my phone. It's dying so quickly nowadays. Okay, let's keep going. He was only a person who didn't wish to accept the rules set by his teacher and his teacher's teacher. He wished to lead a carefree life. Such a state of mind was strongly advocated by the Rose School of Thought's indulgence faction, so it didn't take long for him to join them. This motherfucker joined the Rose School of Thought and betrayed his teachers because, oh, too many rules. Oh, you're not letting me do what I want. Bro, what a bitch. Thankfully, I'm good at anti-divination, and the Church of Evernight members didn't know ahead of time that I was at the house. And they didn't pay much attention on me. They just thought of me as Yulika's subordinate, allowing me to find a chance to escape. Besides that sunlight mainly purifying objects with the power of death, evil, and corruption, it didn't deal much damage to me. That's likely a demigod level attack. And so I walked the shadows in the streets and couldn't help but recall what just happened. After fleeing quite a distance, he turned around and looked behind him and saw that no one was chasing him. He heaved a sigh of relief. A winner is a winner. The eternal winner. Winner is sequence 7 of the monster pathway, right? Monster. No. Whoa. Winner is sequence 5? What? Oh, so sorry. I was thinking of Lucky One. That's why. Oh, jeez. Oh, you're going to make a good marionette, bro. Enzo recovered his usual confidence as he walked down the street with a smile. He turned his head to the left and moved down the stairs. A steep and long staircase. Oh, now he's going to run into Guillermo or Dwayne, I guess. In the vicinity of Canine Street, Soest opened his eyes and said to Leonard, There was a man named Enzo at his place, a member of the Rose School of Thought, and not a low sequencer. He probably enjoys quite an important position. Quickly search the area and find any traces of him and try to capture him. As for the other Red Glove members and local Nighthawks, they either had to capture the remaining numerous Episcopate members or were already capturing them in dreams. They hoped to obtain first-hand news and as quick as possible. Yes, Captain. Leonard didn't hesitate. Daly grabbed at the wind and cupped her ear to her ear. and cupped her hand to her ear. After listening for 2 or 3 seconds, she said, "The little guys around here tell me that someone did escape via the cliff." Daily can talk to, like, animals or, like, insects? Winner's an amazing name? Winner is an amazing name until you get one-tapped by a marionettist. And then you... Man, your acting method is rough as shit. Spirits? Oh, I see. Sorry, when she said little guy, I assume I was referring to, like, I thought it was referring to, like, animals or something. I see. Okay. Oh my god, Klein can make so much money with this guy, can't he? Once he becomes a marionette, he could just take him to the casino and just be chilling. Money-wise, you know? Like, someone's like, hey, I'd really love for you to invest in my company. And Dwayne is like, how much? And she's like, 20,000 pounds. And Klein's like, give me till tomorrow morning. I need to go gamble. On the steep and long rocky stairs, the crimson moonlight illuminated its midsection, leaving rather thick shadows along its sides. What do you think is the best acting method of a winner? Joining the UFC, becoming the like welterweight champion or whatever weight class you are champion. Enzo was like a normal. You remember the artifact Senor had? Killing a winner's not easy. It is for our boy. Enzo was like a normal pedestrian at night, walking a little anxiously, but without showing any signs of being flustered. He had a deep faith in his excellent good luck, being a winner in life, one that wouldn't be caught. Seeing that he would be done after a few more flights of steps, Enzo, who was once a monster, sensed something as he turned his head to look at the shadows. He then saw a figure sitting there in a daze. His looks and figures appeared rather indistinct due to the lighting. This figure took out a box of matchsticks and struck a match to light up the surroundings. Enzo didn't bother sizing up the person when he suddenly saw the scene before his eyes. The figure threw a matchstick over as though he was gifting him something. And when the matchstick approached, it suddenly burst into a ridiculous inferno as the man wearing a formal suit and top hat walked out. Could the matchstick he threw over be a bribe? Is that it? Seeing scenes he shouldn't see and hearing sounds he shouldn't hear were a daily occurrence for a monster. Having become a winner, Enzo was already used to all of this. Without any thought, he fully believed in his intuition and lunged forward, jumping off the staircase and making 2 rolls onto the lower street. At the same time, the brown-skinned marionette oaf suddenly stood up. After bending its back, he hurled the matchstick in his hand at the location where Enzo was previously standing. Before the matchstick hit the ground, scarlet flames extended into the midair. Amidst the flames, Klein's black-suited figure leapt out. Klein had discovered something rapidly coming down the staircase about 10 seconds ago, as though he was hiding from something. Suspecting this was his new marionette, he immediately did a dream divination and obtained the revelation that the man was related to the Rose School of Thought. With such a result, Klein didn't hesitate to take action. Unfortunately, due to the lack of time, he didn't have the time to use a paper angel, which could have been recorded in creeping hunger to interfere with the target's spiritual intuition. As a result, the ambush failed. Remember a demisol? Of course I remember a demisol, my goat. At this moment, Oaf, who had already left the final flight of steps on the staircase, was running with large strides towards Enzo. Enzo's mind stirred. Without dodging, he nimbly turned his body to the side, avoiding the ordinary attack. Then he drew his gun and aimed, and with a bang, shot Oaf's chest. Damn, Oaf. I was gonna say gone too soon, but this guy was about to do some nasty stuff. So you know what? Fucking gone too late. Okay, you should have died a long time ago. Fuck you, bitch. As blood gushed out, Oaf staggered for a moment before collapsing. Klein took this opportunity as his body vanished, facing right in front of the target to block his escape route. Enzo had an inexplicable, strange premonition. He immediately shut his eyes. He didn't know why he did so, but as a mid-sequencer of the fate pathway, believing his intuition was instinct. Immediately after that, Enzo frantically switched directions, attempting to rely on his spiritual intuition. He rushed onto another street, but at the same time, the man in the suit, who didn't have any outstanding features, appeared in front of him again. Klein's figure kept disappearing and appearing in every direction, as though he was running around Enzo at high speeds, blocking the path but not dealing any attacks. Whether he would use Beyonder powers or not, it made Enzo face a figure wearing a black suit and a half-top hat no matter where he turned. Why is he not trying to gain initial control? Because then that would make him slow down so much, no? I hate the Donghua design? What do you mean? For an instant, Enzo, with his eyes closed, even imagined that he was facing a group of enemies instead of just one. For a Demisol? Oh, is he... Oh, oh my god, I haven't read the manhwa in so... Wait. A Demisol in the Donghua is a trailer for episode 5? Because he wasn't in episode 4. Answer Nagito's question. Remember Klein meeting the monster demigod? Yeah, of course, yeah. In PV for episode 5. I see, okay. I do not imagine him to be quite handsome. He looks not good. He's a half sequence 9 monster. Did you guys imagine him to be a pretty boy? I'm sorry. You guys gotta remember, if he was born with a monster, that means his soul is a monster's. Because it's like ingrained in him, the same way that like Gio's a born arbiter. Or not arbiter, sheriff. Arbiter. What did the monster demigod do to himself? I don't know, man. He was all fucked up. He was like, he's a monster. I don't know. I assumed he was younger and thinner, that's all. I imagined a Demisol as a malnourished kid. Okay, maybe I'm making too many jokes because I don't know what he looks like. Can someone send me a photo of what he looks like and then I can judge on that? I imagine him to be homeless. Yeah, that sounds fair. A traveler was often able to create the effect of being besieged. In just 10 seconds, Enzo, who had failed to find an escape path, suddenly jolted. His action slowed down as his mind and joints seemed to be injected with glue. Traveling works well with a marionette too. While Klein was phasing around, he kept maintaining a distance of 10 meters with Enzo, controlling his spirit body threads. No good. He doesn't attack, and is only blocking me. Not because he is waiting for the Nighthawks, but for another reason. Enzo, who still had his eyes shut, felt his heart tighten. Suddenly, he stepped onto a rock, causing him to lose balance and falling down. The pain and shock that snapped Enzo out of his suppressed state, he found his fluidity again. Enzo was no stranger to such accidents. As a winner, he often obtained advantage due to all kinds of low-probability events. What a bitch! He tripped on a rock and that was helpful? Fuck this guy. Without hesitation, he was just about to dash forward at the end of the street and hop over the fence into the sea, allowing what fate had arranged for him to escape his predicament when another scene flashed in his mind. In it, he was breaking into a coughing fit to the point of not being able to stand up. Ailments. The enemy can infect me with ailments. He isn't attacking and is simply blocking to keep me in this area, infecting me with ailments. Enzo's heart skipped a beat. The green essence ring he wore came from a believer of the primordial moon. Upon activation, it could easily treat ailments or injuries. Okay, I can see why you guys were talking that killing a winner is not easy. Bro, killing no sequence 5 is easy. What the fuck? This is luck. Enzo pretended to not discover the infectious ailment in the air. Exerting strength in his palms, he lunged forward and followed his predetermined route. Moments after he took 2 steps, he suddenly started coughing and involuntarily slowed down. Moments after he took 2 steps, suddenly coughed and... Oh, fuck, I already read this. His coughing didn't quell as usual. Instead, it was worsening, as though he was about to cough out a lung. Klein's figure flashed and appeared behind the target while maintaining 10 meters. At this moment, Enzo spread out his arms, allowing invisible waves to ripple out of his body. It was like a pure psyche storm that swept all spirit bodies in the vicinity, bringing with it an intense sense of drowsiness and calamity. Rosego crying in the corner. Klein similarly had a premonition for danger. The moment Enzo spread out his arms, his body had already vanished and appeared in the midsection of the steep staircase. The monster demigod was wearing a blindfold when Klein met him? Oh, yes. Yes, he was. Why do I care? Still, having his eyes closed, Enzo realized that he didn't receive the desired effect. He immediately abandoned the idea of escaping after finishing the target, and he continued running down the fence at the end of the street. Kami, Klein is trying to kill the Sequence 5 winner of the Numinous Episcopate. This is exactly what I meant by what they had in common. Oh, I see, okay. He had a hunch that if he stalled any longer, a number of Nighthawks would catch up to him. As a former lucky one and a winner, the more chaotic the situation, the better chances of escaping for him. At this moment, as he had repeatedly changed directions while running blindly, he once again passed Oaf, who had been shot in the chest. I love how Oaf is just there. He's like, oh god, let me die. On Oaf's left finger was a golden ring with an inlaid ruby. A sanguine beam shot out from as a beam as Oaf's injuries began recovering. He bounced up and widened his mouth, biting down on Enzo. His tongue seemed to lose substance as it transformed into a blob of flesh and blood. Flower of blood. Oaf wore the Flower of Blood ring which Klein had obtained from Mr. X. It would randomly allow the wearer to abandon rationality to become a beast. On the other hand, it allowed the wearer to control their body at a deep level. As long as they didn't suffer from instant death or become purified, they could heal from any kind of injury. Clever. Oh, Klein was like, oh, I'm going to use him as a fucking bullet sponge, basically. Let him get shot, heal him. Let him get shot, heal him. At the same time, it also came with flesh and blood magic. It was an item suited for marionettes. Before Klein came out to seek a new marionette, he didn't know which pathway or sequence his target would be. Therefore, to make well-rounded preparations, he made Oaf wear the ring. This way, he could direct a play of him being the main assailant with a marionette as the secondary assailant, but in fact, it was the opposite. Just as Enzo ran past Oaf, he felt a stabbing pain in his knee, as though his previous fall had given him injuries. The moment this thought flashed through his mind, he crouched down and felt a figure fly past his head. It missed. You're kidding! He got knee pain and that was lucky? For a second I was like, oh, finally. I was like, okay, he's having a slight bit of bad luck. No, that was good luck. Oaf's sudden attack failed to be effective against the winner. Enzo was just about to smile and run away when he suddenly had another premonition. He subconsciously curled up and protected his vital spots. At the same time, Oaf swelled up and exploded. What the fuck? Klein is using... I mean, listen. This guy deserves whatever he gets, okay? Oh, he's blindfolded, so he's fighting with his eyes closed the entire time. Oh, I get it. Okay, I see. Why did you not choose the music for a fight? Fuck, no, god damn it. See, Kami, this is why you're supposed to be here. God damn it, no. Ah, shit. You're a scene from Pirate of the... No, the winter powers are cool. I'm not saying no. Fuck yeah, that's cool as fuck. What? Like, this guy just straight up... he's like getting so lucky. This is insane. Which one do we want? Which one do we want? The hunter? Father Gascon. Yes, this one's fine. Okay. Flesh and blood formed a storm, sweeping through a rather large area of the vicinity, hitting Enzo over and over. One of the preparations Klein had done was to use the power of creeping hunger after its mutation. He had planted a flesh bomb in his marionette's body. Klein is actually just using this motherfucker as just a doll to just die. He's like, listen, your purpose is to die when it's useful to me. With a clank, the golden ring with an inlaid ruby landed on the stone slabs in secret. Klein's figure flashed to Enzo's side. He raised his left palm and made his palm pitch black and said the word, slow. Jesus Christ, FQ, I'm not reading that, but yes, good point. That's a good use for fair. Listen, I'm not, he deserves everything he's gonna get, okay? Like, whatever you want to do to him, like, you want to just, if you can somehow heal him and just make him explode over and over and just keep doing that, fuck it. This guy deserves everything, okay? Thanks to his luck, Enzo had avoided most damage. His lightly injured body suddenly turned as his actions slowed down. Right on the heels of that, he opened his eyes due to the pain, and a figure wearing a black suit was reflected in his eyes. Enzo let out a tragic cry as he raised his hands to cover his eyes. Streams of blood sweeped out from the gaps in his fingers. Monster? Looking at his target and writhing in pain, Klein pricked up his eyebrows as he continued controlling the spirit body threads and achieved initial control. The common thing is no one of the monster pathway wants to look at him. I would assume it's probably some... It's probably the aura of the king of the lord above the fucking spirit world or whatever the fuck. That's making them... Except for Will Septon, yeah, of course. Maybe it's like... Klein's soul probably looks ugly. I don't think it's that. I think it's probably that the aura of the great existence above the spirit world, thank you, Dr. Z, is so strong that unless you're an angel, it just overwhelms the fuck out of you. Kind of like looking at a mythical creature. That's why, like, he started bleeding. He's like, ah, my eyes, right? That's what I would assume. I don't know. Yes, thank you, Nagato and Dr. Z. I was slow as fuck to actually catch up to that. You guys kept trying. Thank you, guys. I kept reading your messages, and you guys are probably just going, is he dumb? What the fuck is happening? This time, there weren't any accidents that broke through the subsequent procedure. In a half-crazy state with scales growing from his body, Enzo was powerless to resist. Yeah, see, he started losing control. I would assume that's like what... That's what looking at a mythical creature does. No, I don't even have to assume. I know that's what looking at a mythical creature does. Time ticked by when Enzo suddenly stood up and converged the protruding snake-like scales. He pressed his hand to his chest and bowed at Klein. He then walked to the side to pick up the golden inlaid ring, wearing it on his left index finger. Klein held back the urge of looking at himself with his new marionette. He got Enzo to clear up the scene of the remnant flesh and any traces left behind. After doing all this, he walked into the shadows with his marionette and vanished. We have another Sequence 5 marionette. Now we need to get another Sequence 5 marionette. But first, fuck the marionette. We need to make money. Fuck the marionette. We need to make the money to pay the 10,000 pounds or 20,000 pounds to the military. Let's go gambling. Listen, Klein can afford to do it, okay? I gambled 2 million at the start of this stream. We did great. And we won those, so really, we're chilling. A few minutes later, Daly and Leonard, who had repeatedly made errors in judgment, finally arrived at the staircase. Who had repeatedly made errors because he was lucky, so they kept having difficulty finding him. Very good. They proceeded to come down the steps slowly, cautious of their surroundings. They were ready to enter combat at any moment. However, they failed to encounter any abnormalities when they reached the bottom of the stairs. They didn't find any clues. Daly grabbed onto the wind, cupped her ears, and listened. There was a gunshot. A weapon once dropped around the street bend. That man named Enzo is dead. Who did it? Leonard asked. From his point of view, due to the repeated failures they had encountered, Enzo easily escaped their pursuit. The possibility of a Rose School of Thought monitoring and silencing him and wiping away any clues was zero. Alright, bye Dr. Z. If that were the case, who could have killed a Beyonder that was sequence 5 or 6? I wish you leave that thing for the next stream. What thing? What now? It needed to be mentioned that the Red Gloves had used a sealed artifact to implement anti-divination before they carried out tonight's operations. It was unlikely for anyone to predict it ahead of time and wait there to hunt Enzo. Daly shook her head. Those little guys didn't see anything. Probably a Beyonder who's good at anti-divination. By the way, someone in the Discord kept saying that I need to read 9:13 through 9:17 in one sitting, right? So I should read up until 9:12 right now? Is that right? Okay, I'm gonna turn off the... Yes? Yes? Okay, good. You know, the thing? Perfect. Okay. Perhaps it's Enzo's enemy. They've been planning to act tonight. She simply offered a guess of hers, and the duo began independently searching the nearby streets to see if they could find anything. Taking this opportunity, Leonard circled to a certain street and asked, "Old man, did you find anything?" You should have heard a tragic scream that had used that to correct the direction of your pursuit. It was let out by Enzo. He had apparently seen something terrifying and indescribable, something that could cause damage and corruption to his soul body. Terrifying and indescribable, Leonard repeated. I was a few seconds behind again. Inside the inn, Klein teleported back with his new marionette. He made his marionette stand to his side as he sat down, and he sized him up, a Beyonder of the monster pathway. But he's still inferior to Signor. There's no way for him to hide. I can only let him follow. From his sequence, he's a core member of the Rose School of Thought, but his sequence isn't low. Some importance must have been placed on him. This also means that if I don't disguise him, it's easy for me to be targeted by the Rose School of Thought. On the contrary, you can probably use him to fish out another wraith. When the time comes, he can walk alone while I hide 200 meters away to wait for the bait. No, I can't. I mustn't let greed get to my head. The southern continent is where the Rose School of Thought is the strongest. Once I expose my location, with how much importance the Mother Tree of Desire places on me, not only a saint will come, but an angel might even. It's better if I disguise this marionette as a faceless. I'm pretty good at disguises. Then I'll continue using mystical items for to find mystical methods to find my next marionette. I'll wait for Danitz to finish his investigation and for Mr. Azek to find me. Klein made up his mind, and after using a myriad of means, he learned that his new marionette was a Sequence 5 winner. In this pathway, a Sequence 9 monster was one who had super high-level intuition, or super high spiritual perception. They often heard sounds others couldn't hear, and also see things others couldn't, allowing them to occasionally see the future. Beyonders of the sequence often entered a state of enlightenment as they muttered indescribable words. It was the reason why they were treated as monsters. As for the corresponding Sequence 8 robot... Oh, I don't think I know that. The Beyonders would obtain terrifying calculation skills and precise control. The various parts of their body in those aspects would be clearly boosted, making them talented at close combat at shooting. At the same time, they also had the powers of divination and anti-divination. Sequence 7 was named Lucky One, or Lucky. Beyonders of this level frequently encountered lucky events in their daily lives, like finding money, having enemies miss shots, getting dice rolls as they wanted, and having women they also like them back. How the fuck do you act as a robot? You gotta move with the... and then... However, their luck wasn't fixed and would fluctuate. At times, they were especially lucky and at other times no different than an ordinary person. It wasn't exactly something that could be relied upon, and one had to temper their expectations. Sequence 6 was Calamity Priest. Whoa. Dude, I feel like the number of pathways I'm missing now is so... or number of sequences I'm missing is so little now. Like... how many... so there's 220 pathways. Or sequences, rather, sorry. I'm missing 5 here. 2 here. 7. 5 here. 12. 15. 19. 22, 28, 30, 34, 37, 40, 44, 47, 50, 52, 56, 60, 63. 63 out of 220 missing. That's like I have 3/4. Wiz, do a robot dance for us? Yeah, no thank you. Maybe we'll talk about it. Calamity Priest. On one hand, Beyonders could passively suffer all kinds of calamities, but they could foresee it and make preparations to eliminate or mitigate effects. On the other hand, they would actively attract all kinds of calamities, affecting the target and enemy as a result. Then using one's advantage of being lucky, avoiding most of the danger, and attack during the chaos, to simply put, they could pull their opponents into a situation where they could take advantage of their strengths at the best. Sequence 5 Winner. Beyonders could control their luck to a degree. They could also use their own temperance to accumulate a lot of luck. At critical moments... At critical moments, they could dramatically reduce the dangers to their life multiple times. From time to time, they could also encounter beneficial situations that have very low probabilities in their daily lives. For example, due to someone's mistake, they could receive an inheritance. The strange comedic way they walked caused them to catch the fancy of a member of the opposite sex, or their enemies who were pursuing them would foolishly get lost. That's what happened to Daly and Leonard. Why do you have Pluto as a sequence 0 of the Apprentice pathway? Oh, yes, that's not true. Sorry, that was just a guess. Someone asked me to guess it. Bro skipped a whole last paragraph. I skimmed through it. There was nothing important. I don't really give a fuck what the Calamity Priest can do. At this level... God, I'm so... At this level, Beyonders of the Fate pathway had a very keen sense of foresight, be it divination or anti-divination. In addition, they could also give their enemies bad luck to a degree. Beyonders of the Monster pathway are extreme. Apart from their spirituality and the Fate domain, they almost have 0 Beyonder powers. Their constitution and calculation skills are provided at Robot. The subsequent advancement give them rather limited improvements. This is my ideal model for a charlatan. They do not have any offensive or defensive capabilities, solely relying on premonition and fate. I have to say that this is the most special path out of the 22 pathways. I can find or guess their neighboring pathways. Only Monster seems rather asocial. It seems to be lonely. Could Monster not have any interchangeable ones? No, that'd be ridiculous. Well, would it be? There's pathways with 3 interchangeable and 2 interchangeable. Could be one with nothing. Perhaps the Beyonder pathway that focuses on fate is destined to be lonely. Kleinlis silently reflected on the matter and had some ideas regarding the usage of his marionette. Yes, I will put this near the... I'll put this with the Monster pathway. Charlatan is a lonely road. Say that to Lanavis. He had some company before he had to run away. Ruin that girl's life. Bitch. Fuck that guy. Of course, he still needs to carry out a divination above the grey fog. He needs to see if the passive good luck and calamities still existed after the Beyonder's death. If it is present, Klein had to constantly face calamities. In comparison, Senor is still better as a marionette. People only know how to cherish and regret things once they're gone. Klein shook his head in a chortle. From the traits of the monster pathway, he thought of a few effective means to deal with their mid and low sequence Beyonders. First, it was to catch them by surprise. Then they would see the grey fog or other images, causing them to lose control and receive damage to their body, pushing them to the brink. Second, it was to throw a special item out, causing them to face the test of seeing what shouldn't be seen or hear what shouldn't be heard. In this aspect, Klein had a blood crystal that came from a high-level demon that could produce such an effect, Blatherer's Aura. Third, it was to entice them to give him bad luck and pretend to act unlucky so as to have an opportunity to strike back. That probably wouldn't work because their intuition would tell them ahead of time, like, oh, this guy's going to do some shit. Amidst his thoughts, Klein made the marionette empty his pocket, producing 35 pounds and 10 soli and 7 pence. The wallet's surface and interior had a flower and name embroidered on it. Enzo, whether that's your name or not, your name is Enzo. Klein shot a glance at his marionette as he moved his gaze down to the golden ring with the inlaid emerald on his right hand. Via divination, he learned the ring was named Green Essence. It had one effect: treat any ailments or injuries that weren't too serious. And it was precisely because of this that it had a negative effect that was trivial. It only attracted mosquitoes. Oh, I would hate that effect, dude, because mosquitoes bite me a shit ton as it is. I don't know if it's like a thing with like skin what the fuck. I don't know if it's like a thing with like blood type or whatever. But man, if I walk outside at night in the grass, I'm getting just fucking ripped apart by mosquitoes. I fucking hate them so much. Thankfully, I'm not the one wearing it. Monster Pathway Beyonders don't seem to wear many mystical items. Even if they do, they wear one or two low-level ones. Is this a requirement of fate? Klein retracted his gaze in thought as he looked at Enzo. He wished to use his Monster Pathway's marionette to look at himself. He wanted to know what was so special about him. Racist mosquitoes. Mosquitoes probably can't do shit. Like, what do you figure? Like, mosquitoes go to fly towards him, but they accidentally, like, run into a light and then just die or something? Will this be dangerous? I'll lose control as a result, even if I'm seeing myself? No. In Tension City, a Demisol looked straight at me without even being a sequence 9, and all that happened was having his eyes bleed. They missed the arm. Although I have improved drastically from then, Enzo didn't directly break down when he saw me. The actions resembled my reaction when seeing a demoness of despair, partial Panatia's partial mythical creature form. They crash into each other. Before they start flying to you, they suck the blood of like someone who was drunk, and now they're like and then they bump into each other, and then they get a DUI. Do a divination above the grey fog? No, that involves the grey fog itself. The outcome will be interfered with. Rely on my own divination powers? Klein took out a gold coin and let it run through his fingers. After a while, the gold coin bounced up and fell into Klein's palm. 9/11. Strange scene. Yeah. 9/11. Strange scene. Oh, I'm a bad person. Yeah, username. That was the joke. Yeah. Alright, guy. Thanks for staying for so long, man. What? That's the title name. I didn't do anything. Bug, you can't. Bug, you can't cancel. You can't cancel someone for 9/11 jokes. Okay. 9/11 jokes are. That's as American as anything. Okay. You can't. I heard. I came back from it and heard 9/11. Shut the fuck up, username. Dude, I unironically had to argue that with a coworker's husband is like really into that conspiracy stuff, and he was like, "Dude, like there's just no way." And I was like, "Dude, like yes, there is. This is like the most studied. This is like probably the most studied thing in the past 20, 30 years. What do you mean like oh, we just couldn't do that? Like what the fuck are we talking about? God damn it." Oh, actually, I had to argue that for like 2 hours. Kill me. Klein looked down at his palm as his eyes reflected the gold coin. It was heads. Oh, fuck you. Yeah, exactly, right? The jokes everyone makes, that's fine. The conspiracy theory stuff is Nazi. It was like a while back. I'm sure you guys saw this, but I'll pull it up. Give me a second. So it was like, back when there was a whole Barbenheimer, fuck me, or whatever the fuck it was called. Jesus Christ. So Japanese people didn't take that too well because you know Oppenheimer is kind of not a great guy to them, and so they started making a bunch of 9/11 jokes, but they didn't understand that like Americans love, they find those hilarious. So it didn't bug them at all. They were like, "Dude, this is amazing." Look at this. Oh god. Of course, it's Jay Schlatt. Hey, all I'm gonna say is no one no one knows where he was at that time. Okay, I don't know where he was at that time. Okay. Um. Klein looked up at the golden coin. It was heads. This meant that Klein should use the marionette's eyes to look at himself. After doing this revelation, do we know where he was? He was in England. I don't actually know if that's true. We all know what Schlatt did in '01. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. He pondered about holding a ritual to send Enzo above the grey fog. Doing so was safer, allowing the damage and corruption his spirit body suffered to be screened out. However, he suspected that he wouldn't get an outcome. This was because the Beyonders of the Fate pathway were noticing the projection of the mysterious space on his body. Above the grey fog, that uniqueness might no longer exist. Pressing his fingers together, he clenched the gold coin in silence, and after a while he made up his mind. He stood up, took out a ritual dagger, and created a wall of spirituality. Oh, we might find out something special about Klein. Great. After that, Klein set up a ritual and sacrificed creeping hunger above the grey fog. He was afraid that the glove would turn on him if something did happen. And this was a fixed trait of creeping hunger itself. Once it didn't have its fill and couldn't secure a schedule of eating a person a day, it would view its wearers as food. And Klein starved it more often than he fed it. After doing all the preparations in a meticulous and orderly manner, Klein reached out his hand to take the flower of blood from Enzo and wore it on his palm. This ensured that he could recover even if he suffered any damage. At the moment he was about to wear it, Klein thought for a moment, paused, took out a piece of paper and wrote, "Remember to take off the ring." He was worried that he wouldn't take Flower of Blood off after his experiment due to his lowered intelligence. When that happens, perhaps I'll need a beautiful princess to wake me up with a kiss. No, take off my ring, Klein laughed. Removing his outerwear, he wore the ring. He then cast his gaze at the new marionette, Enzo. The sense of crisis and nervousness was inevitable, as he made up his mind. After doing some adjustments, he entered a state of cogitation and made his marionette slowly turn around to look at him. With the winner's eyes, he first saw the layer of thin, emanating grayish-white fog. Amidst the fog, there was a resplendent door of light, tainted with bluish darkness. The door of light was formed from countless layers of spherical light. Each spherical light enveloped a squirming maggots. Squirming maggots are mythical form of the seer pathway. Some of them were transparent and others translucent. They had complicated and indescribable symbols and patterns that had profound meaning. Before Klein could discern the details, he felt his mind go abuzz as he lost consciousness. After an unknown period of time, he slowly woke up. He had momentarily lost his memory, almost imagining that he slept till daybreak. What happened? It's still dark outside. Klein sat up with a push of his hands, only to realize that he was on the ground. At that moment, he caught sight of Enzo. Plenty of scenes and voices surged through his mind. So basically they're seeing Klein in a pseudo mythical form, and that's why they're suffering so much damage. I was kind of right? That they're seeing Klein in like a pseudo mythical form state, and that's why they see the maggots, which would be a seer's mythical state, and they're going, "Ah, my eyes! What have you done to my eyes?" Why are maggots the mythical creature form of the Fool pathway? Remember when Cat Leia tried to pry Klein and got backlash? Yeah. Maggots have to do with dead things, dead people. Klein's body's technically dead. Kind of. Was. But what does it mean? Like, I feel like this does have something to do with the whole miracle invoker thing, and miracle is coming back from the dead, and that is sequence 2, the first sequence where you become an angel, and the pathway or the sequence where you become a true mythical creature. So Klein is like a pseudo mythical creature because he's already come back from the dead, because he's basically I don't know. Why Klein have a mythical creature form? I think so. I think it has to do with that. I would assume the fact that he's already come back from the dead, and that's a miracle invoker. The death pathway would be more fitting for that then? I don't know, because the... Okay, let me... did you finish recording the video? No, Nugget. So I took yesterday off because I was just so sleepy. I was like... It said door of light. I don't know what the fuck to do with the... Is that like the doorway to heaven? I don't fucking know. Let's try to think about this. Like the death pathway, I would assume, is about having mastery of death. Like mastery of death means you don't die, except death did die. So I don't know how to deal with that, okay? Like it means you don't die. It's like I don't die because I mastered death. Whereas the seer pathway might be like my body is dead. Like my body is dead, but your soul or your spirit or your whatever mind or whatever are still alive, inhabiting the body. A lot that would symbolize the maggots, because the maggots prey or eat your dead body, but like the parts of you are still alive. You know, the parts of you that are you are still alive. The body's a vessel. It's not. Does that make any sense? I don't know. Why is it in the door? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I'm cooking. I don't even know if I'm cooking or I'm just burning the fucking house down. Couldn't even tell you. Huh. What happened? It's still dark outside. Just like a marionette. Thank you. That's like a great point. Just like a marionette. Maybe after a point, you become... Maybe the whole point of a... Maybe a sequence 2 death, a miracle invoker, is you becoming your own marionette. Like your soul ascends or some bullshit. I don't fucking know. And then you just control your body so that even if the body dies, who gives a fuck? I'm not even in there. You leave your mortal body and ascend? Yeah, kind of, yeah. That's right. I was trying to figure out what Beyonders of the Monster path we can see from my body. Which mythical creature forms do you know till now? It's a great point. I don't know. The devil one? The seer one? The death? Do I know death? No, I don't think I know death. Warrior, yes, I just saw that one. I don't know if I know anymore. You should know them down in the future. Oh, that is a good point, yes. At this moment, flesh was squirming on the wound. Oh, wait. That's right. I was trying to figure out what Beyonders of the Monster pathway see when they see me. I suffered too much stimulation and fainted. I vaguely remember painful screaming. Was that me? Klein, who had recovered his memories, inspected his condition. He was surprised to see a bloody, gruesome wound on his body, as though something was about to tear out. At this moment, flesh was squirming in the wound, reforming it at abnormal speed. Klein then looked down on the ground and saw that there was blood that had outlined a silhouette of where he was laying down. Devil is not a mythical creature form, it's just a sequence 7 transformation. Oh, true. Do you think the mythical form of the mutant pathway would be? I don't know, man. I don't know. Mutant pathway. What the fuck would be a mutant? Ninja Turtle. You actually transform into Lightning McQueen. You're a mutant because you're a car that can talk. They don't know what a car is. So to them, it just looks like a thing. What about the spectator pathway? Dragon, of course. Is the wheel of pathway fortune just a wheel? That would be kind of based. Thankfully, I wore Flower of Blood, otherwise I might have slowly died due to the injuries. After I resurrect, I wonder if I'll be in a human form or a monster form. Klein raised his hand and rubbed his temples as he scanned his surroundings. He found the furniture toppled, but the wall of spirituality remained intact. Turn to different music? Sure. We can change up the music. We've been on that for a while. I love the Persona 5 music, man. God damn it. Let me know if that's too loud or too quiet. I don't know. My invis from easy stream passing. Bro, I just read your message. Give me 2 seconds. God damn. You're becoming like Nightwalker. That's not a compliment. A little loud. From the speed. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit more. This should be good. Klein then picked up a chair and sat down, feeling as though he had forgotten something. Only when he instinctively cleared the area did he see the note with the words, "Remember to take off the ring." He then removed the ring. More memories surfaced as Klein shook his head and muttered with a lingering sense of fear and amusement. Luck is important at times. If those negative effects of the flower of blood randomly reached its peak potency, I might not be able to recognize those words and fail to be reminded. Seeing that he had mostly recovered from his wound, he made Enzo wear the flower of blood and take off the green essence. With the latter's treatment, Klein no longer felt any discomfort. He focused his attention back on the scene he saw. A door of light tainted with bluish black, countless spherical lights. A door of light reminds me of like the apprentice pathway. Because I see like a door to the spirit world or something. Bluish black, I got no fucking clue what that means. Countless spherical lights, that's like what you see when you're doing cogitation or like calming your spirituality after you take a potion or something. Transparent and translucent maggots. Symbols and patterns, hiding plenty of knowledge. What do these represent? There's a particular mythical creature from a form that corresponds to the mysterious space above the grey fog. The one that belongs to a true god. During the grey fog screening, only beyonders of the fate pathway can see it directly. Suffering the visual impact and corruption, likewise, it's also because of the grey fog screening that those beyonders don't directly break down, as though they are seeing a deity with their own eyes. Klein thought for a moment and began to use divination to decipher the hidden meaning. The door of light seemed to resemble the symbol behind the apprentice's chair. It might also point to Mr. Door. Cookin'? Listen, I didn't get to Mr. Door, but I got to that pathway, so half points. Countless stacked lights is identical to cogitation, and the latter stems from the mythical systems as described by some novels on Earth. Influenced, my subconscious chose the most relevant and closely matching memory. My distorted and transparent maggots are similar to the clumps of maggots on the gigantic throne on the main peak of the Hornaces mountain range, but there's some differences. That's Sequence 0 the Fool? I didn't manage to see the translucent ones clearly. It's hard to tell. The bluish-black color is making me connect to the depths of the mysterious space I can't reach. Back when I stood on the highest step of the staircase, I could see some hints of the bluish-black on a cloud-like mass. That is true. When we become a demigod, we can climb all the way up and see what the fuck's up there. Klein thought about it for a moment, but failed to get any answer. All he could do was keep it at the back of his mind. After clearing the scene, he took 4 steps counterclockwise and went above the grey fog. He wanted to do some inspection on his physical condition and confirm if Enzo had still had any passive luck. Balam, in the poverty district, in a dilapidated house. Cat Leia was sitting behind a table looking at the door. "Come on in," she said. The hanged man then walked in. Cat Leia nudged her glasses and said, "If you were to walk out like this, you'd be surrounded by members of the church within 5 minutes. She didn't wear any disguise because she knew that the matter of permitting Gehrman to board the future had long spread across the seas. It wasn't difficult for the hanged man to guess that Cat Leia was Ma'am Hermit. "It's the same for you," Alger replied. He meant that Cat Leia was just second to Admiral Hell among the 7 pirates. Furthermore, she was suspected to have a deep connection with Gehrman. She was a target of pursuit by the Church of Storms and the Evernight. Her bounty was now 45,000 pounds. No matter where she was, it only spelled trouble. Cat Leia nodded and turned to the hanged man. "In front of me, such a disguise is meaningless, but I respect your choice." She has a domineering stance and great attitude, as expected of the Admiral of Stars. Alger, who was wearing a mask under the hood, didn't harp on the disguise as he got straight to the point. Thank you for helping. I'm curious, with your present strength and resources, you should be able to solve the artisan's problem. Why are you being so excessive? I don't wish to become a topic of discussion for others, Alger replied. Cattleya seemed to understand between the lines and said, I need more info. According to my observation and guesses, the artisan is likely controlled by those who believe in the primordial moon. The latter belong to a faction of the southern continent, not the traders of the life school of thought. Why don't you find Mr. Moon? He should be interested. If we aren't able to resolve it, I might do so, Alger smiled. 9:12, last chapter. Let's go. Thank God, away from 9:11. Get me out of here. For the records, yes, I do know I could have just called it 911 and just avoided the whole thing, but it was funny, so I don't regret it at all. The go. Cattleya understood the Hanged Man. If the problem was too serious, they could use the moon to involve the entire Sanguine race. She then smiled. If it's that serious, why not just go to the world? I have to prove my ability at handling things. That's the final resort. Alger said. The Hanged Man also places a lot of importance on Gehrman. It's because he's a blessed of the fool, and his attitude is identical to the political jokes of Backlund and Trier. When facing a problem or having committed a mistake, the first reaction is to suppress the matter and solve it before others notice. This means that the Hanged Man was once or is currently a member of a powerful faction. The Church of Storm? No, that'd be an oddity. The fleet of the King of the Five Seas? Nightstream? Yes. We'll do a... actually, that's a good question. Should we do a night stream to do 9:17 today, or should we not do a night stream? Good lord. Or should we do it tomorrow morning? Because I assume that's like a really cool thing, and more people are able to join the morning stream than the night stream. I don't care either way. Your guys' point. Continue describing the artisan, Cattleya replied. Alger appeared to have prepared a script without any thought or pause. He said, to hide this artisan's identity, to prevent this resource from being wielded by others, I deliberately constructed the identity of him being part of the Church of Storm. But in fact, he had no choice but to create items for an unaffiliated Beyonder to earn money to maintain his lifestyle of enjoying wine and beauties. He betrayed the Church of Steam and hid in Balam. This time, he first contracted a strange disease and was being monitored. Later, he seemed to be under the control of the people who believe in the primordial moon, claiming that he could receive a new life. Should do on Discord for more coverage? Yeah, we can do it on Discord. I don't mind that either. That's fine. I mean, here it seems to be pretty conclusive. We'll end it there. We can also do it on Discord. That's fine. Okay, but here it seems to be pretty conclusive anyway. An artisan definitely has no lack of mystical items. Furthermore, they all know the combinations of different Beyonder effects and negative effects. Their strength is at least at a sequence 5. What methods did those primordial moon... yeah, Romero, if you don't mind. What methods did those primordial moon believers use to control this artisan? Don't forget to answer top 10 questions. Oh yes, Nagita will do that too. A demigod was involved? Alger shook his head. There aren't any clues regarding that, but based on my observation, the artisan has expressed some willingness. I suspect that while being threatened or coerced, there are elements of them targeting his weakness to incite him. How did those moon believers find him? Based on your description, he only deals with very trustworthy friends he knows. He doesn't enjoy widening his channels. I don't know, but I have a theory. I once helped the world sell a werewolf beyond her characteristic to him, and the werewolf pathway belongs to the mutant path, and the werewolf sequence belongs to the mutant pathway. Be it the formulas or the characteristics, they are firmly in control of the Rose School of Thought. He suspected that the werewolf beyond her characteristic had a latent problem involving a secret existence, and that resulted in him being targeted. It was the same reason why the Rose School of Thought firmly wielded control of the mutant pathway. What's the artisan's name? Where's he from? He's from Intes. He calls himself Sea-Elf. Sea-Elf. Cattleya frowned. You've heard of him? Alger asked. From Alger's point of view, Cattleya was an experienced powerhouse with a background. If she didn't wish to discuss Sea-Elf, she wouldn't have made it so clear and suspicious. Emperor Rosel's eldest son is named Ciel. His name is very similar. Rosel's eldest son was being really heavily controlled by the Church of Steam and Machinery to put pressure on Rosel. She then continued, this prince passed away due to his horror and concerns shortly after the Emperor's assassination. Back then, the Sauron family wished to hang or exile his descendants, but the Church of Steam and Machinery chose to take them in as clergymen. You suspect that he's a descendant? Alder nodded. In most countries in the northern continent, like Intes and Faceak, it was common for people to use their ancestor's name or something similar. It represented the legacy of honor. Of course, it was very common for two people to have similar names, but the artisan Sea-Elf wasn't only a name, it was a name from the Church of Steam, a person from Intes that had reached the level of artisan. I can quickly make a confirmation if you obtain his blood, Cattleya nodded. Alger didn't ask further and instead asked, are you going to take action now? I can provide support. No, I plan on observing for some time, Cattleya replied. At the very least, we need to understand why the people who believe in the moon are trying to control him. If they only wish to get an artisan to help, the situation becomes a lot more simple. If they have other goals, it might be more complicated than imagined. We might need more preparations. Alder nodded. I can't stay in Balam for too long, or it'll be suspicious. If you need my help, it needs to be fast. After receiving confirmation, the hanged man got up and left. Having learned of where the artisan was, Cattleya removed her glasses, pinched her glabella, and clapped. Heath, come in. Heath Ledger? In the shadows of the door gap, a darkness suddenly stirred as a thin but tall man appeared. He was none other than the second mate of the future, Rose Bishop, Heath Doyle. The actual situation is... I'll leave the rest to you, Cattleya said. Yes, Captain. He then returned to the shadows. Stay away from Frank for the time being. He has reached a standstill with his mushroom experiments. I'm scared he's going to come up with new ideas. That bastard Heath Doyle, fuck him. The location of my second marionette. Klein held two branches as he repeatedly chanted. This meant that, without seeing them move, this meant that the divination had failed, or that the Coelaine city didn't have a second marionette for him. From the looks of it, the mysticism methods were at a loss. I'll pack up and leave tomorrow, Klein mumbled. Peak mushrooms? Sitting beside him was Enzo, although he didn't dare directly to look at his master, and was only looking at the ground. Compared to before, this winner now had red skin that was nearly peeling due to sunburn. All of this had turned for the better. He now wore a swarthy tan. To disguise his new marionette and prevent the Rose School of Thought from recognizing him, Klein had brought this gentleman on a trip to the beach where he had received strong sunlight, and he was left exposed to the sun for a long time. Jesus Christ! He just let him get sunburned into oblivion? Meanwhile, he controlled the marionette to shave off most of his hair, leaving a thin layer. With the trimming of his brows, contouring his face with powder, and wearing shades, Enzo transformed to a different person. Apart from a disguise in the real world, Klein also did some mysticism management. First, he used a paper angel. Second, he carried Azek's whistle. He's giving the marionette Azek's whistle? That's kind of nuts. In addition, he also determined that a winner's passive luck in Calamity was ineffective. Therefore, he had no idea if it was because of his status as a marionette or due to the grey fog. Receiving the tea and taking a sip, Klein cast his gaze at the map of East and West Balam. At this moment, the colors around him saturated. Right on the heels of that, a figure appeared beside Enzo. None other than Azek Eggers. My go is here. I don't care what happens. He's my number one on that list, Nagito. For fucking sure. Mr. Azek is here. Klein was delighted. This made an amusing scene in his mind. Mr. Azek, who had relied on the copper whistle to locate him, had done the same as he usually did, grabbing the copper whistle's wielder by the shoulder, and had left using the spirit world the moment he appeared, and all Klein could do was watch helplessly. Trying to stop him with outstretched arms, but being a tad slow, he couldn't help but clam up. Azek appeared more reticent than before looking at Klein, who had a new face, and asked, "Are you ready?" "Let's go! Let's go, baby! Let's go, Mr. Azek!" Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, that's amazing. That was such a good end. Oh, that was peak cliffhanger, actually, dude. Oh my god. Okay, give me 2 seconds. I'm just gonna run to the washroom. Then we will do the top 10 and the artwork, and then we'll end stream, okay? Give me 2 minutes. Yeah, sorry. Okay, sorry. Muted. Yep. Sorry. Okay, so at first we're just gonna write characters, and then we will adjust the rankings later, okay? I just want to at least get like the top 10, 12, whatever, most memorable characters down, and then we can adjust the ranking, okay? So at first, let's just do it without ranking. Azek, for sure. No doubts about it. Azek, Sharon. What's the detective's name? Yeah, Klein persona is excluded. Yeah, the detective. Old Mr. Eye of Wisdom. What's his name? Big font. Oh yeah. Wait. How do I make this bigger in this? I don't actually ever use Notepad. Okay, much better. That's fine. You should make this into a whole video. Oh, that's actually a good point. You know what? Let's actually make this into a video. You're right. But if we're going to do that, then I want to get a little bit of a better format. So just hold on. If we're just doing this off the cuff, kind of just chilling, no problem. But if we're going to actually do this, then let's just do that, okay? That's fine. How do we make this bigger? Common problem for people. Fuck you, username. That was actually a good one. That was actually good. Fuck. As much as I want to fault him for that, that was actually really good. Top 10. Use mummy powder? I'd have to get in touch with Nagitso. I mean, I don't know where the fuck I would even make that happen, okay? Okay. Okay, let's try to figure out what our top 10 Lord of the Mysteries characters looks like, okay? So, like I said, at first we will we'll write out characters, just like 10, 12, 15 really memorable ones, and then we will start ranking them, because I need to at least get characters down first. If you guys have like really memorable characters, think about, okay, username, oh, Jesus Christ, okay. If you guys have really memorable characters, let me, just toss them in, let me, and then I can try ranking them. Sharon, the detective, what was his name? Isengard Stanton, yes, Isengard Stanton, yes. Aman, fuck no, not yet. Daily, yes, I would probably put Daily up there. Audrey, yeah, Audrey for sure. Alger, no. Fors, no. Old Kohler, no. True Creator, yeah, thanks for that. Leonard, yeah. The Sun, Derek, yep, Derek for sure. Do I want to put Emlyn in there? Fuck, as much as I hate him, I think he deserves to be up here. Fuck. Why no Alder? I don't know. He doesn't seem that cool to me. You know what I mean? Like, he's fine. Solid top 25. Not top 10. Roselle. Oh yeah, Roselle. Fair. Roselle. Bernadette. I don't think she's done enough to be up here yet. Trissy. Fair. Okay. Mr. A. Why does Mr. A deserve it? What? Sharon is number 2, Mila. She's already up here. So, okay, hold on. This gives me 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, let's, Groselle. No, I don't think Groselle I would put up there. I'm thinking Catlea, I don't think would go up there. Edwina, I don't think go... Oh, wait. The Hunter Pathway, sequence 6, or... Not Anderson. Other one. Fuck. Danitz. Yes, thank you. Danitz definitely deserves to be up here. Not Anderson. Fuck him. No, not Anderson. No. Okay. Volume 1. Really. The person who most stands out is Azek for me. Dunn? Yeah, but he died so soon. I don't think he... Adam? I don't know fuck about Adam. Okay, I know he's probably in the Twilight Hermit room. I don't know fuck about him. You know, I'm not putting him up here. Get him the fuck out of here. No shot. Leonard is already on here. I love how everyone thinks. Why is Anderson better than Danitz? Danitz is goated and woaded. Anderson is like the slightly smarter version of Will Ossepton. Absolutely. What aura of fucking sequence 1 rolling in on a black pram in your dreams. That's amazing. Love that. Fry? Nah, I'm good. Dunn Smith died really early, man. I love him, but he died so early. Do we put him up here? Nah, fuck it. You know what? If he's not top 10, he's really close. So at least let's put him in here for now. Colin Iliad? Fuck no. That's way too early for that guy. Fuck him. Username, we're not putting Klein. We're not putting Klein or any personas of Klein. Okay, so remove those. Old Neil, Old Kohler. Old Neil, yes. Old Kohler, no. Daly's already on here. Is it 1L or double L? Because I feel like people are... It's 1L, I think. Susie? For sure. Okay. Inzong Will? Fuck no. Hate that guy. God, kill him. Daily? 1L? 1L? I thought so. Eridas? Okay, I don't know what... Eridas is a fucking inanimate mirror. I mean, not inanimate, because I guess it talks. But like, it's a talking mirror. I don't know why that would be top 10. That's insane. I don't even know if that should be on the list. Father Utrovsky, kind of goated and woted. I don't think he'll make top 10, but goated. Utrovsky. I don't know, that looks right. Old Neil died rather... Yeah, I know, but well... Yeah, I know, but his death left me with a crazy... His death had a crazy impact on me. Seekatron, no. Lady who likes some big maid fetish. No. Okay, now I think... Brody the cat, Medici... No, okay, no. It's too early for... Again, those guys might get... This ranking will change by the time I finish. Zaratul? Fuck that guy. No, hate him. Okay. Now let's rank these characters. Okay. Now let's say this is the list. If someone gives me, keep sending names, that's fine. But like we'll keep these ones as the main ones. Okay. And then Pala Zoroast. No. Aman. I feel like it's too early for him. I haven't seen him do that much, you know. All I really saw him do was try to usurp the Grey Fog, get yoinked. Try to take over Derek, get yoinked. And he's in Backland now. That's literally all I know. Evernight Goddess? What is she? I mean, she gave my goat, Old Neil, 30 pounds, but beyond that, what does she really do for us, you know? She didn't do much. Nah, I don't think so. Okay. So let's try actually ranking these now. 1. This one is unavoidable for me. This one is the only one that cannot change. Everything else we can have a discussion and change. This one is unavoidable, okay? Azek. Not even close. Fuck you guys. Shit, Benson. Oh, Benson. Benson's goated. No, he deserves to be up here. Fuck. That's a really good one. That's a really good one, Milos. Fuck. Okay. 2. Oh my god, I can't type. I can't type to save my life. 2. Okay. We might move this around again, but Derek. I think Little Son is top 3. I love him. Melissa, no. Love her, but no, not top 10. Audrey's dad. You think Earl Hall makes top 10? Pushkar? Come on. Miss Messenger. Really good, not top 10. Angelica? Angelica's the receptionist at the thing, right? At the Divination Club? Fuck, no. Opulent Villa of Earl Hall should be on here. Truly memorable character. Just for the money. Audrey's racist brother. Sharon? Sharon's already on here. Bug. Okay, Derek. And then I think Sharon has to go on here. I think there has to be a girl in the top 3 or I get called sexist. And I love her. 4. Now you might be asking, what am I basing this off of? No fucking clue. Just vibes, really. Nothing. Just vibes. Sheer vibes. They can be like either really cool, they can be aura farming, they can be really funny. All of it's up there. I don't really care. Tracy? Vice Admiral Ailment Tracy, you think deserves to be on here? Yeah, Audrey's on here. Whether she makes top 10, I don't know. 4s? Fuck no. She's fine. She ain't that good. We got Trissy. Who cares about Tracy? True. Rosego. My go. Gone too soon. Gone but never forgotten. My go. The true... What? Why does the true creator... 017? Okay, 017 is goated and woaded. Doesn't make top 10. And we don't know anything about her. Besides that she might be the child of... Who is she the child of? Hidden... What do you... Bro, stop giving me gods. I'm not putting gods on here. What are we doing? Or fucking sealed artifacts. What is 008 gonna do here? Every volume so far has involved the true creator. You guys are hitting me with ASG and Flagrea? Really? This is what you're gonna hit me with? Isaac, Derek, Sharon. I think I go Roselle next. Hornace's mountain range. What are we doing here? Sharon. Roselle. You asked whose child she... Oh, I see. She's Flagrea's child. Oh, I see. Thank you, guys. I was like, you're asking me to put Flagrea on the list? That's insane. Okay, that makes more sense. Thank you. I think I go Will Ossepton next. Is that crazy? What about ASG Ed Sheeran? Damn. You know what? We'll put this is unofficial. This is unofficial memorable mentions Ed Sheeran. Is it Ian or Ian? Is it Ian? I'm gonna say Ian. Ian. I don't know. They both look wrong. I don't know. Why is Isengard? Dude, I loved Isengard's characters. My guy's goated. Vice Admiral Hurricane Kilong goes, no, the Admiral Hurricane does not deserve to be on here. Leonard. Okay. Benson. Susie. Justin Bieber. No, we can't put Bieber on here. No, we can't put Bieber on here. What about ASG? You know a lot about him? I do know a lot about him, but he kind of seems like a dick. Like, you know, his peeps are Raynette Tyneker, really love her, not top 10. You should make a video with a tier list and a rank after volume 4, as it's the midpoint of volumes. Do you want me to rank volumes, or what would you like me to rank, Pushkar? I'm curious. I'm that sounds like a good idea. Just I don't know what you're referring me to rank. Ray Bieber? Yeah, fuck no. Okay, let's start. Okay, I think we got to get rid of Emlyn. Love him. He can't be on here. Rank characters? Oh, sure. Yeah, that's fine. But then you guys are gonna need to. But then I'm gonna need to make like a giant fucking list of characters. Holy shit. Oh, I'm gonna need to make so many characters. Father Utrovsky, love him. Doesn't deserve to be here at this point. Shit. Oh my god, this is cooked. Dragon of Imagination, Onkvalt. You think Onkvalt deserves to be up here with Benson? My S tier is going to be Isaac and like 2 other people. S tier is going to be fucking exclusive. Oh, okay, listen. Okay, I think 9... I think 9 deserves to go to either Benson or Captain Dunn. And whichever one gets left out is not on the list. Sad to see Dunn lower than Susie. She has a longevity. Dunn didn't have a longevity, okay? Love him. Really good peaks. But, you know, like he was like a 1 season all-star, you know? Like he had a really good season. He was putting up triple doubles all season. But it was 1 season. He didn't have a longevity, you know? He was like a really good... Benson's already 7. Oh, we're goated. Oh, Benson's already on here. Okay. Captain done then. Captain Cat done. Okay, we still might adjust this. Well, what's your... well, what is your favorite sequence? Like, are you asking what's my favorite pathway, or what's my favorite, like, 9-8 like, what do you... Sorry, I need you to clarify that question. Roselle at 4 is the worst decision of your life? Why? He's given us such good moments. Oh, what's my favorite pathway? For me to have, probably Hunter. I feel like I'd be really good. I feel like I'd be really good as a hunter. Because hunters are from solo leveling. Goated. Managed to piss off everyone in chat in that one sentence. Oh, you guys are not ready for this. Okay. 10. Okay, 10. Damn, dude. Okay. I think I go Danitz here. I think Danitz is so funny, and he did so good. I feel like he deserves to be on here. Okay, now let's try to revise this a little bit, okay? Let's try to go through. Azek, goated and woated. The first angel we met saved Klein from a fucking meteor. Aura farming constantly. Is at like probably sub 50% strength, and walked up to what I would assume is either at the very least a sequence 4. No, almost certainly a sequence 3. He walked up to that fucking fucking whatever, demoness of Undying or whatever the fuck Panatia was, and said, listen, either you help my guy out or some shit's going down. And he's like sub 50% of his strength, and he's like, brother, someone's gonna die here. Listen, as a demigod's gonna die here, and it ain't me. So what are we thinking? And she says, shit, brother, you say less. No problem, no problem. A demoness of unaging. Yes, thank you. Okay, sorry. Goated. Okay, love her. The sun. I feel like my boy has gone through so much at such a young age. He's so good, and he's always so bright. Has such a good personality despite living in literal hell on earth. And is like, he's so kind. He brings such cheeriness to the tarot club. Even though like Audrey was the cheery part at first, but then Audrey, because she had to be a spectator, she had to be like really calm and have like a stone cold face. She stopped being that, and now Derek fills that role. He keeps it pretty light with Emlyn, I guess, but Emlyn kind of keeps it light in like a stupid sense. So like, love him, goated. Maybe we move Derek down a little bit though. Is that crazy? Maybe, okay, Derek, maybe move down. Definitely deserves to be top 10. Definitely. Khaled, top 10 characters, okay? So far, obviously. Maybe move down. Definitely stays on the list, but moves down. Miss Bodyguard, Sharon, my queen. Must I say any more? Love her to death. Best girl. Okay? Replace Roselle with Audrey? We'll talk about it. Roselle top 5? Maybe. We'll talk about it, okay? We'll talk about it. I'm not going to say any more about Sharon, okay? Goated and woated, top 3, deserves it, okay? Roselle, former transmigrator, became fucking Caesar, okay? Goated, provides a lot of relief in tarot club meetings. He's very funny, helps Klein a shit ton, made him choose Seer, who's -1 is edge. We don't. I mean, I guess we can do -1 if we want to, but okay. Okay. So provides a lot of fun. Helps Klein a shit ton. Helped him choose Seer. Gave us Bernadette. Handy. Might somehow still be alive in the Sea of Subconscious or some. I didn't really get that part. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I like some ideas. Okay. Taste of Demoness. Exactly. Goated. Will Ossepton. The sheer aura of talking down to Klein as a baby in a black pram, sounding like this, presumably. Okay, goated. How do you even? We're just going off vibes, Khaled. No criteria. Okay, he strolls in a black pram from the shadows, and he's like, "What do you want? Yes, I can be of help." Okay, like, must I say more? He's like, he's one of two angels that we have on call, Will Osepton and Mr. Azek. Both deserve to be on. I don't know if Azek's angel. He's probably an angel, though. Goated. Love that. Leonard, our favorite sequence, not pathway. Like, favorite sequence. Lucky one. I'm gonna go gambling. Love that. Leonard, our delusional main character, great guy. Okay, our dear poet. He's just aura farming all the time. He has too many buttons open for my taste. I'm not gonna lie to you. Button yourself up a little. You're gonna catch a cold. This is embarrassing, but he's pretty good. Still, didn't even choose winner. Why not winner? Because then you get calamities, bro. That's crazy. I don't want calamities. I'm good. I just want the good luck. I'm good. Lucky one. We're fine with that. Okay. Benson, my best older brother. Okay. Except for my older brother. He's better. But Benson, amazing. He supported his whole family. Made sure Klein was able to get through university so that he could live a better life. Okay. Best older brother. Except for mine. Great guy. Love him. Supported his whole family. Is now supporting Melissa as she goes to technical school too. Got a better job. Building a better life not only for himself but for his family. Curly-haired baboon. Must I say more? Susie. Audrey. I'm just a dog. How much more explanation do you need? One sentence. Clears it. She deserves to be on the list. Captain Dunn. We saved Tingen. Sacrificed himself, his heart. There's that. Crap. I wish I could find that artwork of like. It's fine. I was thinking of a particular artwork where it looks like he's. It seems very euphemistic, but it's fine. Okay, Captain Dunn definitely deserves to be on here. Carried Volume 1. He breaks into Klein's dreams, keeps terrifying him. All of Volume 1. Why? Probably because he can. Why not? Love that guy. Benson raised Gehrman Sparrow. Exactly. Yes. Think about it. Benson raised Gehrman, Dwayne, Sherlock, Klein, everybody. Will is the only bald one on the list. No. What about Don and Benson? What are you talking about? I mean, they're going bald. They're not quite bald yet, but they're going bald. Danitz provided comedic relief. Entirety of Volume 3. Volume 3 needed it because Gehrman was really serious. My favorite persona of Klein so far, but needed some comedic relief. That guy was really serious. He's just, he's on site all the time. So we needed some comedic relief. Danitz did that really well. He's what was it, a 10,000 pound dish fucking laundry maid or whatever the fuck? I can't remember what the joke was, but it was something approximating that. No, Pushkar, don't hit me with the bald emojis. No, I can't, okay? All right, I think this is a pretty good list. Let's just see if there's anyone. Okay, so Benson's on here, Susie's on here. Old Neil didn't make it, love him. Okay, question. Do we replace Captain Dunn with Old Neil? We can, but it's not necessary. Question. Dunn on here, Will Osepton on here, Danitz on here, Trissy. I don't think she deserves to be on here. No. Hasn't done that much. Roselle on there. Derek on there. Leonard on there. Audrey. Damn. Yes? No? Nah? Replace Roselle? Nah, Roselle. I think Roselle deserves to be on there. He's very funny. I place a lot of levity on funny in this series because the series as a whole is so serious. And that's okay. I like serious. Don't get me wrong. But like the comedic relief is important to me. Fuck, Isengard didn't make it? Oh, I love Isengard. Daly didn't make it either? Bro, I'm cooked. Hold on. Isengard and Daly, I think, deserve to be on here. Hold on. Isengard and Daly deserve to be on here. Shit. Rosego, -1. True. Rosego, -1. Love that guy. I was gonna make a video on Rosego, but it didn't work. It just wouldn't work. Not enough people know who Rosego is visually for it to work. The video is gonna be titled like the greatest Beyonder ever with Rosego in the thumbnail. but Ramiro said not enough people know what Rosego looks like offhand. I was like, oh fuck, that was gonna be good. I thought that was gonna be so funny. Everyone knows Rosego. Shitting on. Yeah, but not visually, Bug. You know, or not everyone. Not visually, Pushkar. Derek Sharon. Okay. I'm going to piss off a lot of people. Y'all ready? Oh, I'm going to piss off a lot of people. Gone. Daily. Should just put the thumbnail, the name Rosego. Rosego, the chosen one. Leonard for daily. You made the stream last like half an hour longer with one question, Nagato, damn it. Leonard, maybe a little too delusional. Daily, our straightforward queen. She doesn't hold back. It doesn't matter that she's from Lone. There's no illusion about what she's saying. She's straight up, okay? She's telling you. She's telling you what she wants to do. Damn, she's very straight up. That scene about what she was when she was talking Dwayne Dantes on the airship, love that. Whew, that was spicy. Okay, so I think she probably deserves to be on here. I think this is my perfect list. Rosego, super god tier. Ed Sheeran, true god. Ed Sheeran. Okay, number 1, Azek, our angel. Derek, he's gonna be the son of the forsaken land of the gods. He's gonna save him. Love that. Sharon, my queen, deserves to be on here. Roselle, a little bit of a horn dog, but he deserves to be on here, okay? He's helped Klein out a lot. Horn dog, but deserves to be on here. Will Ossepton, the aura farming baby. Daily, our straightforward queen. So you see, we have a very reserved queen and we have a very straightforward queen. It balances. It's perfect. Roselle. Okay, no. Nightwalker, what is your problem with Roselle? He's the emperor. What do you mean? Benson, carrying his family on his back. His back hurts from how much he was carrying that family for a decade, okay? Love that guy. Susie, just a dog. What more is there to say? Or a farming fetus, for real. Oh yeah, I guess he's not even a baby yet, fetus. Well, you know what? I'm not getting into that. Captain 9, done. Saved Tingen. Must I say any more? Captain, we saved Lone once again. My goat, gone but never forgotten. Danitz, provide some levity in a very serious situation. Deserve that. I think he deserves to be on here. I think this is a perfect list. Alright, that's going to be it for the YouTube video. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and have a great rest of your day or nights. If you enjoyed the video, consider liking, subscribing, commenting, all that regular stuff. You know how it goes. Bye, guys. Okay. There are so many people that deserve that place. Which place? Roselle's place? Not more than Roselle. He's goated. What do you mean? Quiz. Which 2 organizations have almost the same name? Rose School of Thought, Life School of Thought? Is that what you're asking about, Pushkar? Check DMs? Oh, yes. Yes. Yes, let's check. Yep. Yes, nailed. Oh God, you guys are, oh Jesus Christ, I apologize. You know what, you were right. Demisol looks horrible. He looks like a grown-ass man. He looks like a predator. Yes, Pushkar. After we finish Volume 4, we'll make a tier list. We'll make a character tier list. He looks like a predator. He looks like a slim version of Rudius before he transmigrated. But yeah, this looks really bad. Yeah, okay, never mind. It does not mean ugly. I was complaining. I would just say he's ugly. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. He looks bad. Oh, yes, this one. Yes, this is the euphemism I was referring to. Thank you, username. Like, the author had to know what they were doing. I love this. If this was in higher quality, I'd put that as the background. Alright, I don't think there's anything else. Yeah, I think we're good. Alright, guys. We're going to end it there. We'll figure out if there's going to be a night stream. I think... Wait, Romero, did you start the poll? Where's the poll? Did you... Oh, did you do an... Oh, you did in here. Fantastic. Okay, great. Love that. Wait, there's nothing in artwork. Is there? Yeah, there's nothing in artwork. Okay, it's from last stream. We're good. Or actually, no. This is... Yeah, it's fine. This just ends. Most of these we've already seen. So, we're good. We'll end it there. Alright, guys. Thank you so much for making it all the way to the end. As always, love you guys so much. I will catch y'all in a little bit. Have a great rest of your day or nights. And I'll catch y'all soon. Bye, guys.